CBC Sports presents the Canadian Football League. Canadian Professional Football, brought to you by Canadian Pacific, working for Canadians in resource development, manufacturing, and transportation. KTEL International, specialists in personal care, household, and leisure time products. Yamaha Audio, quality stereo with a 5-year warranty on most models. And Labatt Breweries of Canada Limited, brewers of Labatt's 50 Ale and Labatt's Blue.
Playoff football makes for outstanding football. Lancaster's pass is miraculously pulled in with one hand by Bob Richardson. That helped the Rough Riders beat the Edmonton Eskimos yesterday in the CFL Western Conference Final. They're on their way to the Grey Cup. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tom McKee here at Lansdowne Park in Ottawa. The weather is very cold, a few degrees below freezing, but with the wind, it makes it even colder. This could be a ground game. Will it be the high-flying Hamilton Tiger Cats, or can the Ottawa Rough Riders regain their early season performances? We're going up to the broadcast booth and meet our two outstanding award-winning commentators. The ACTRA winner of the Nellie Award as the best sportscaster in the nation a few years back, the young and innocent Don Chevrier, as that picture indicated. And the Shenley Award winner of 1961, a cute and cuddly Frank Rigney. Aren't they pretty? We'll join them in just a moment.
Labatt's 50. More people say it, more people enjoy it. It's Canada's most popular ale. You enjoy yourself, and you drink 50 because it's the beer you enjoy. It's just that simple. A beer with a taste you like. You don't have to explain it. You just say it. 50. You can't say beer any better.
All you have to say is 50. You can't say beer any better.
Some of the most romantic hideaways in all the world are only hours away in a Boeing jetliner. Of course, some people have everything right in their own backyard. But if you don't, and you could use a little romance in your life, get hold of your travel agent and get on a Boeing jetliner. There's a whole world out there waiting for you.
Well, Tom McKee, I don't know about that cute and cuddly stuff, but I'll ask the big teddy bear in my left here about the prospects for certainly Ottawa, Frank. They didn't finish up well. Hamilton's got momentum. How do you see it going?
Well, Coach Brancato had his problems with his riders in the last half of the season. And, of course, Bob Shaw, of course, was the outstanding coach in Canada during 1976. At least many reporters have voted that way. It'll be an interesting ball game, that's for sure.
All right, let's find out now the pregame prospects on the part of both coaches, George Brancato and Bob Shaw.
Okay, let's check first with the visiting coach, Bob Shaw, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, also general manager, but this afternoon, the coach. And, Coach, do you think you can keep this momentum going, the momentum that's been going for a number of weeks now?
I see no reason why we can't. I think that the boys are well prepared and know the importance of this game and are ready to go.
Did you give them a rah-rah talk, or do you do that sort of thing?
No, I just remind them of a few things before the game, but there's no fire and brimstone.
Okay, like next year's contracts, maybe. Okay, thank you, Bob Shaw. The obvious question, of course, for the coach of the Ottawa Rough Riders, George Brancato, is, George, can you get these guys back on the right track? They sputtered in the latter part of the season.
I think so. They've always been able to come up with a big one. We're hoping they can do it again today. And if not, you know what it is, there's no tomorrow. So I think the guys are ready. They worked well all week, and they're going to give it all they got.
You were trying to keep Spencer Thomas here. He's gone out to Baltimore. Is that going to mess you up at all?
Well, we worked Spencer into the lineup. It's going to hurt a little bit, but he was replacing Peter Stenison. We thought we wanted a little more experience back there with an import. But Baltimore Colts called him. His agent advised him not to sign while he was here. That's why he didn't sign, and he took off right after the Friday practice for Miami.
And I know you have to take off right now to the bench. Have a good game, all right?
Thank you very much.
That's the story down here in the sidelines talking to the two coaches. Really, I think it's just a flip of the coin, gentlemen.
Well, that flip of the coin is going to be very important. The visiting team, of course, is going to get the choice of ends here. That's automatic. That's the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And there's a big wind factor, not as big as yesterday in Taylor Field, Regina, but a significant wind factor nevertheless at Lansdowne Park this afternoon. It'll be coming out of the west, and we'll tell you about that, the choice of ends, in just a moment. But right now, we're ready for the national anthem from Lansdowne Park in Ottawa. They're all set, and we'll be back with the opening kickoff in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Frankie Valli, and this is my first album for K-Tel.
K-Tel's 40 greatest hits of Frankie Valli in the 4 seasons. They're super hits. Remember... Of course. These are 40 hits that made Frankie Valli in the 4 seasons international superstar.
Can't take my eyes off you.
Solid gold. His greatest hits. The 40 greatest hits of Frankie Valli in the 4 seasons. $9.99 from K-Tel. Tape for cassette, $11.99.
Available at Woolworths, Dollars, Met Stores, Sam and Working Man, Stedman's, and McLeod's. Also, Woolco Department Stores, Towers, and Woodwards.
There is our Green warming his hands. He's back with Bill Hadanaka at the 5-yard line as Ottawa will get the ball. Hamilton will kick to them, and the Tiger Cats will have the advantage of a 15 to 20 mile an hour wind, and the Eastern Final is underway. Hadanaka at the 1-yard line. 25. To the 39-yard line. He was cut down by Dave Montagano after a 38-yard run back to get things going for the favored Ottawa Rough Riders. And let's have a look at the Ottawa offense right now with Tom Clements at quarterback. Art Green and John Palizzetti as the running backs. The receivers, Jim Foley, Jeff Avery, Bill Hadanaka in place of Moody Jackson, who's injured, and of course the great tight end, the All-Canadian nominee, Tony Gabriel. Here's Tom Clements' first down call. It's a draw to Palizzetti, and the Tiger Cats have him after a gain of 3 yards. Alan Moffett, left defensive tackle number 56, stopped him. There's Tom Clements, top passer in the CFL East on the 1976 season.
Don, as we see Ottawa in a passing situation, obviously here with second and 8.5 yards or 7.5 yards to go, we anticipate Ottawa to throw the ball to the short side quite often today because Hamilton comes with that 3-man line and rotates fully to the wide side of the field. Let's see if Clements goes to his right this time.
Green goes right, Palizzetti left, and Clements sets the throw on second down. Getting a chase from Boone and loads to Palizzetti. Down right there. No gain. It's going to be 3rd down and 7. Again, Dave Montagano made the play for a fired-up Hamilton defense. And the Tiger Cats have done their job. They've held Ottawa and will get the ball back now with the following wind advantage.
And Clemens did want to come to the right side to Art Green on that screenplay. Actually, it's a double screen. You see Clemens taking quite a shot from two Ticat defenders after the ball is gone. That's Boone, 65, who hits him second. Double screen to both sides. Palazetti, however, only picks up 1 yard. Ottawa will be at third and 6.
Here's Jerry Organ's kick. The deep man, Edwards and Porter. It's heading for Porter on the 42. No yard. He's taken down right there. Hatnaka was well within the 5-yard restraining zone, and so they'll get 10 tacked on, and the Tiger Cats will be near midfield. That kick, not a great one, traveled only 26 yards from the foot of Jerry Organ. Hamilton has Jimmy Jones at quarterback. The nominee for outstanding player in the East and in the country, Jimmy Edwards. Angelo Santucci at fullback. And you've got Mike Harris, Willis, Evanson, and Skalrud as the Hamilton receivers. And they'll go from their own 52-yard line with their first offensive play of the afternoon. Evanson goes left. This is Jimmy Edwards. Edwards breaks his way for 2 at the 54 in the grasp of Rudy Sims, Ottawa's right defensive tackle, number 65.
What a super job Sims did on that one. Mike Wilson and Bart Evans, the left offensive tackle and guard, both tried to take a shot at the big veteran, number 65, Rudy Sims. But he limits the gain to 2 yards.
Jimmy Jones, who likes to run as much as he throws, if not more so. You see his aerial record for the 1976 season. Out to the left comes Evanson again. Second down and 8. Plenty of time for Jones, going deep for Harris. Oh, he can't quite get it at the 15-yard line. And perhaps, Frank, the following wind carried that ball a bit beyond the outstretched arms of the gigantic receiver, Mike Harris.
Many times, Don, it is much more difficult to throw with the wind, as you mentioned, and Jones had his problems there because Harris was wide open down about the 15-yard line. Jones just overthrew him by about 3 or 4 yards. Create a kicking situation for the Hamilton Ticats once again, as both of these ball clubs fail to pick up a first down on their first time of possession.
On the left is Bill Hananaka, and on the right, Art Green. Here's the kicker, Ken Clark for Hamilton with the wind. Hangs a dandy up there, going down to the 5-yard line to Art Green. 50, 23-yard line. Green taken down by Ed Chalupka. And Ottawa will start 16 yards deeper than on the opening kickoff, and Hananaka got it back to the 39. That was a 51-yard punt with the wind by Ken Clark. And, of course, a couple of weeks ago, he destroyed the Toronto Argonauts with a 95-yarder at Ivor Wynne Stadium. George Brancato, the head coach of the Ottawa Rough Riders, they've been idle for 2 weeks, awaiting this Eastern Final today. This is Art Green. Green has 7 yards at the 30. Taken down by Joe Harris, the left corner linebacker, number 45. That's the same man who scooped up a couple of fumbles for touchdowns in the 23-0 Hamilton win over Montreal last week in the semifinal game.
Absolutely no mystery on this type of offense. They're just running straight at him. And you see the front three, Boone, Moffett, and Samples, as the Hamilton Ticats primarily go with 4 linebackers.
This is second down, about 2. It is now first down. Green stopped by Kent Carter, number 41, the right corner linebacker for Hamilton. So the Riders get their first down of the day, the first down for either team. Art Green, of course, second behind Jay Washington in overall CFL rushing this season.
Good lead back by John Palazetti. Johnny made number 21 in that Ottawa backfield.
Here's the pitch to Green. Art Green has about 3 at the 38, taken down by David Boone, Hamilton's defensive end, number 65.
Green the ball carrier. Boone made the tackle.
Well, it's the way we thought it would be, tight in the early 4.5 minutes of the Eastern Final here at Lansdowne Park in Ottawa. We'll be right back in a moment.
How do you know good stereo?
I got a lot of help from this free fact book I picked up at my Yamaha audio dealer. Gives you comparisons between Yamaha Audio and its competitors. Tells you why it's significant that Yamaha exceeds even its own specifications. And Yamaha Audio gives a 5-year parts and labor warranty on most models. So I figured Yamaha deserved a listen. And man, it really delivered. Yamaha Audio, dynamite stereo. Whether you go by the book or play it by ear.
Pontiac challenges the competition with a 77 Parisienne, clean classic lines, extra comfort, more headroom and rear legroom, a bigger trunk, a fuel economy rating based on Transport Canada approved test methods of 28 miles per gallon highway, 20 city. Parisienne, a Pontiac mileage maker.
Pontiac, the mileage maker.
Well, this optimistic crowd at Lansdowne Park has seen the Riders lose their final 2 schedule-ending games and then get a week off. They're hoping they can put it back together in time for a trip to the Grey Cup in Toronto next weekend. Saskatchewan is already making travel arrangements. Today's winner will join them in the Grey Cup of 1976. First down, second down, 38-yard line, and 7 to go. All kinds of time for Tom Clements. He's got Gabriel. Hamilton's 46-yard line. The ball came loose. The play was not whistled down. It looked to be completed, picked up by Harris, and Hamilton's going to have a turnover. And I would love to see that play again, Frank.
I just don't believe it. Clements has got all day to throw the football back here and finally finds Gabriel coming across from left to right of his formation. You see the big tight end make the reception right at the 50-yard line. It appeared that the ball was well dead right here.
He could go to jail for stealing on that, because that's exactly what he did.
Well, who but Harris would be there, and that's going to be a controversial call. That play looked to be absolutely dead. But they've given the ball to Hamilton, the 44-yard line of Ottawa. Swings it out to Jimmy Edwards. Dances around Woodward, then Wonderful Mons rides him out of the 40-yard line after a 4-yard gain.
I'll tell you, Don, that's one of the most controversial calls I've seen in playoff action in recent years. Gabriel appeared to certainly be down, and the ball stopped. The Hamilton Ticats get the first big turnover break of this football game.
Well, nobody even really bothered to chase Harris. He stepped out of bounds because they thought the play was dead. In fact, everybody here thought the play was dead. And Hamilton, oddly enough, in the 2 big wins they have compiled the past couple of weeks over Toronto and over Montreal in the playoff, have not given up a turnover. And here's one that came very early, controversially, that may hurt the Ottawa Rough Riders. Slade Willis, number 28, is receiving attention from the Hamilton training staff, as you see, and that necessitates the momentary delay in the game.
If you're a Chile reporter, might be allowed an opportunity here. That, whatever it was that happened to Tony Gabriel happened right in front of me, and it looked as if he had the ball stolen away before the whistle went. And I think that's the way the officials ruled it down here, too. He did not drop the ball at all.
But he was on the ground, Tom, was he not, and down?
No, he wasn't on the ground yet. Not before the whistle went.
All right, that might explain it. Len Platt, number 22, comes in for Willis and comes flying left now on second down. A flag has been thrown. Here's Jones going for Terry Evanson, too far. Again, the wind carried the ball beyond the receiver, Evanson. Looks to be a legal procedure against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. We'll confirm that in a moment.
You're absolutely right, Don. As we saw Jones overthrow his wide-open receiver for the second time early in this ball game, and glad that Tommy clarified that fumble by Tony Gabriel. Maybe we owe the officials an apology.
Procedure penalty against Hamilton. He's fined.
That's referee Bill Fry. And a legal procedure against the tight end, Scarroot of Hamilton. Makes it third down. Of course, the pass was incomplete. That's why they declined it. There's Tony Gabriel, who's wondering what hit him and how that ball got away on the turnover a few minutes ago. But the Rider defense have stopped Hamilton and a potential touchdown drive, and they'll be punting now on third down and 5.
Shows a bit of a weakness here down in the Hamilton Ticat ball club. They're not going for a field goal, which would only be about 45 yards, wind assisted. Ken Clark just doesn't have that range, but he does have the range to punted in the end zone for a single point.
Art Green very wisely conceding it about 12 yards deep in the Ottawa end zone. So the turnover nets the Hamilton Tiger Cats a single point, and they strike first in the CFL EFC final here at Lansdowne Park, going on top by a score of 1-0 with 8 minutes and 48 seconds of playing time remaining in the first quarter.
Mark got that one in the end zone from 52 yards out, Don. He kicked 16 singles for Bob Shaw's Hamilton Tiger Cats during the course of the year. Their real problem, however, was in the field goal department. He doesn't have that long range, not as nearly as long as Jerry Argan of the Rough Riders.
Ottawa elects to go for 35, of course, for the first down, and a 2-yard gain, maybe 3, for a struggling Art Green. He was stopped by Mike Sample.
It appears that the Ottawa Rough Riders on first down, they've run the ball every time on their 4 possessions now, and they're just running straight ahead with straight-ahead blocking. They feel that they can go up against these Ticats with very basic offense, as they only have 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. We felt and said early in the ball game that they'd probably throw to the short side because those linebackers do have good mobility to the wide side of the field. Let's see if it happens this time.
Out to Art Green. Green at the 45 may have the first down, depending on where they put the ball down. I believe he does have it. Montagano and Larry Brune combined to bring him down. You saw him pause to make his move to get the extra 4 or 5 he had to have. The yardsticks come out from all the way across the field on the far side to ascertain whether this is Ottawa first down.
Boy, this is going to be a tight one, isn't it?
Well, Tom, we see you right there. You'll get a good view of it, better than we have.
Let's have a look here. They got it.
It is first down.
Good call, Tommy.
First down officially confirmed by Thomas Henry McKee.
Eagle eye, eagle eye.
Attaboy, stick in there. Hamilton with the 4 linebackers. Frank talked about a 3-man line. Harris and Brits, who were so dynamic in the win over Montreal. McLaren and Carter. They'll odd times slide an extra man up there to make it a 4-man line out of that linebacking set. Going is tough for Palizzetti. He got a real shot to the chops across the 48-yard line and got driven down to the 50. David Boone made contact with him. And there's a break in the action now with the Tiger Cats on top by 1. We are midway in the first quarter of the Eastern Football Final.
When the game comes on, the beer that comes out is Labatt's 50, Canada's favorite ale.
I thought you said last week was the last game.
Oh, well, last week was the last game of the regular season. This is the playoffs.
Oh.
You like 50. It's just that simple. You don't have to explain it. You just say it. 50. You can't say beer any better.
All you have to say is 50. You can't say beer any better.
It all happens next weekend. Grey Cup weekend on CBC. The Grey Cup game festival preview. You'll see it right here on the CBC television network from C&E Stadium in Toronto. And you'll see right here today which of these 2 teams will be competing against the Western champion Saskatchewan Roughriders. Second down and 6 to go from the 49 for Ottawa. Clements for Avery and for Ottawa first down. Harris nailed him at the 47 of the Tiger Cats.
Very simple case here of Lewis Porter, number 24, just giving Avery entirely too much room. The hook pass over the short side of the field. See Porter about 5 yards away from Avery, the intended receiver. A 14-yard pickup for the Rough Riders. They've now picked up 4 first downs in this first quarter.
He's a rookie with 21 catches in 1976. Getting to the left side is Gary Kuzik, number 27. Avery is wide right. Palizzetti and Green set behind Clemens. Who'll throw again. For Kuzik, he made a lunge at the 33-yard line and had to come back for the ball and could not bring it in. Being covered by Dave Shaw. Clements threw it behind him and knows it. So it becomes second down from the Hamilton 46. And a day in which it's difficult to keep hands warm, especially for quarterbacks and receivers. Can you lip read this next play, Frank?
Cannot, Tom, but I'm sure that the young Notre Dame sophomore quarterback of the Rough Riders, Tom Clements, is very concerned about getting this offense moving. They have moved out of very poor field position as they picked up 2 consecutive first downs now.
Pressure from Moffitt, and he's away. But not for a first down. He may have missed it by about a yard. Maybe close. Taken down by Sam Britt, number 47.
This shows the great ability of 1975 Rookie of the Year Tom Clements, because he slips here on this very stiff surface here. It's obviously frozen overnight, but he winds up gaining his composure and picks up, I think, about 9 yards here, very close to a first down. They're measuring right now. Sam Britt finally makes a stop.
He does not quite have it, but half a yard short. Clements, of course, dangerous when he does carry the ball, as is Conrad Holloway, Ottawa's backup quarterback. They are going. Third down, about 1.5 feet to go. The ball near the 37-yard line of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Art Green has the Ottawa first down. Ridden down by number 41, Kent Carter. Helped up by number 30, Larry Brune. The ball now is the 34-yard line. He picked up 3, needing 1.5 feet, and George Brancato breathes a little easier. Attanaka replaces Kuzik with a play from Brancato on first down. There's the man who picked up the first down, the East leading rusher, number 2 overall in the CFL. Takes the draw to Green, and it was out to Palazetti, and Carter almost got himself an early Christmas present.
Boy, that one would have been going south the other way with 6 points for Ken Carter. Just got one hand on that football. Very fortunate for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Good fake by Clements before he tries to dump this ball out to the outside, but you see Carter knocking it down. That was Palazetti, number 21, the intended receiver.
He tried to one-hand the interception the way Bob Richardson one-handed a touchdown catch for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders yesterday.
Carter, by the way, is the fellow of those 4 linebackers who moves down to a 3-point stance when the Hamilton Ticats want to show a 4-point or a 4-man defensive line.
This is second down and 10. 34-yard line of Hamilton. For Gabriel, he's got it. At the Hamilton 16, the Ottawa drive will continue.
Well, this drive started all the way back at the Ottawa 35-yard line, and you see Clements with time to throw this football once again as he completes this one 18 yards to Tony Gabriel. He did not have a whole lot on that football, but he managed to get it over the linebackers and in underneath the defensive back, and Gabriel picks up his second reception of the day. Here's a good block by Foley as he comes in motion to the right side, protecting his quarterback. Mike Samples as he keeps away from Tom Clements.
That's a big man to block, Samples. So they go first down from the Ottawa, the 16 of Hamilton. The draw to Art Green. It may be another first down. Green stopped near the 6-yard line by Larry Brune.
Well, I'll tell you, for a team that's had their problems offensively in the last half of the 76 schedule, the Ottawa Rough Riders are currently on a drive that has been very, very impressive. That draw play to Green moved the ball all the way down to the 6.5-yard line, and we're going to be measuring to see whether or not Ottawa's picked up yet another first down. Appears to be just that much short.
Bill Fry says exactly that much short. So it's second down and less than a foot to go outside the 6-yard line as Tom Clements plots the next play for the Ottawa Rough Riders. 3 minutes and 18 seconds remain in the first quarter. Hamilton leads 1-0. Clements stumbles and has to eat the football back at the 12. He got his feet tangled up. Went down on a pile, as you saw. But at least gets it out in decent field goal range for Jerry Organ.
was on an unfortunate break for the Riders, who had been so impressive on that drive, but that shows you how hard that turf is. Obviously, frozen very badly as Tom and Clement slipped and lost about 6 yards on the play. We're at a 3rd down and 6 yards to go. There's 2:56 remaining in this first quarter. The Hamilton Ticats lead 1-0.
I can't think of a worse spot on the game for that to happen for Tom Clements. He only had a foot or so to go for a first down. Now they must settle for a field goal try from the 20 by Jerry Organ, and he has it. That ball was curving. The officials had to look very carefully to make sure it was inside the post, but it was. So it's Ottawa 3, Hamilton 1. That's the way the Eastern Final stands with 2:39 to go in the first quarter.
But all we really want is a house. Our house. Sure, 2 salaries help, but it hurts us too because of taxes. Then Dad mentioned how investors could help us, and an investor's man dropped by the apartment. He created a sound financial plan to help us get our house a lot sooner. He told us it's based on something called the 4 cornerstones: everyday money, guaranteed long-term money, growth money as a hedge against inflation, and family protection money through life insurance. The plan was simple, a plan that allowed us to pay ourselves first. We knew we'd made the right move for the house we wanted, for the tax savings we wanted.
On the left, Jimmy Edwards, ever dangerous for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. His partner for this kickoff return from Ottawa is Dave Shaw. They're stationed near the 15-yard line. Organ kicks it to the wind, and he kicks it badly. Roots it out there. That's a free ball. Ottawa!
Appeared to be Al Brenner. Don had picked up that short kick. It was Henry Washuk, the offensive center, I believe, of the Ticats, who went up and tried to handle that football. And it appeared to me to be Al Brenner, number 13, making the recovery for the Ottawa Rough Riders.
You are correct.
Hey, 1 for 1. No more predictions.
There's a break. Organ, I think, was trying the short kick that got away on him. Went deeper into the Hamilton zone. Washuk mishandled the ball, so it's first down Rough Riders from the 47. Draw. Palazetti. Hits into the 42. He's got 5. Stopped by Rob McLaren and Alan Moffat.
I'll say this Palazetti, number 21, in that offensive backfield with the Riders, along with Art Green, runs like an ex-linebacker, which is exactly what he was. Last time I did a game with these Ottawa Rough Riders, Don, all the way back on August 3rd, he was playing the outside linebacking spot for these Riders.
Well, he spent much of the season there because Ottawa had Marley McGee, but he's gone to Saskatchewan. He helped them win the West yesterday, so Palazetti goes to offense. Clements. Foley right through his hand. Should have had the ball, no question. And he was at the first down marker. So it goes to 3rd and 5. And these little misfires in execution, Clements stumbling and then Foley dropping the ball, have been costly for the Ottawa Rough Riders. They certainly have maintained possession and have had the most promising drives here in the first quarter offensively, which now has 1:35 remaining.
I couldn't agree more, Don. The way they're moving the ball offensively, they certainly appear to deserve to have more than 3 points at this stage in the ball game.
Organ will punt from center field. He's got the wind, remember. There's Porter down to the 15-yard line.
Looks like Palazetti was in that 5-yard restraining zone there, and he also appeared to slip once again on this frozen turf.
You almost come to expect a flag on punt returns now. We've seen so many violations. There's the signal. All right, let's join Tom McKee now with the CFL Commissioner Jake Gador.
Have an important football game, and CFL Commissioner Gador is always with us. This is a big one, Jake. Certainly it's going to be a bigger one next week in more ways than one.
Yes, next week, Tom, of course, at Grey Cup, we will have a record crowd in the stadium, over 53,000 people. And I suppose the same thing will apply to your viewers across the networks.
Well, we sincerely hope so, but that record is only going to last a year probably, and it'll be broken again, right?
Yes, already we know that there will be a minimum of 70,000 people at the Grey Cup game next year.
It just gets bigger and bigger every year.
Seems that way, and more problems.
Yeah, more and more problems. By the way, you haven't got an extra ticket for the game, have you?
I haven't had one of those for 6 months.
Jake Adore, the commissioner of the CFL. You saw Edwards get wrapped up by Rudy Sims for no gain. This is 2nd and 10 Hamilton, 24-yard line. A flag is thrown. Jones hits Harris at the 34 and would be close to a first down depending on which way this penalty goes. Could be a holding call against Hamilton.
Bart Evans, number 54, the left offensive guard, Don, might well have been the one guilty. He's working against Rudy Sims, number 65, and Sims does get away from him. See him hook him right there, middle of your screen. Sims winds up really drilling Jimmy Jones right after he releases that football. Complete to Mike Harris, number 7, but it will be called back as holding against Bart Evans is the call.
You are now 2 for 2.
And I still say no more predictions.
16 seconds remain in the first quarter. It's 3-1 Ottawa.
Only prediction is that there will be a winner of this game. No tie possible, right?
That's right. There'll be overtime if necessary. They slip Ken Clark in on 2nd down. He may be a receiver. No, a quick kick. Oh, and he almost had it blocked, but he gets it over the heads of the Ottawa defenders. Gets a Hamilton bounce inside the 35-yard line. Backcourt is Brenner. Brenner out of bounds at the 42. So the Tiger Cats, with a good call, move the Rough Riders back as the wind advantage, of course, is going to change and go in Ottawa's favor in the second quarter. At the end of the first quarter, the score is Ottawa 3, Hamilton 1.
You're looking good, Buick.
Hey, you know that I think that you
look good, darling. I don't care. Ooh, you look
The 1977 LeSabre, completely redesigned. More front headroom, more rear legroom, more usable trunk space. 100% Buick. Quiet and luxurious. Buick, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
Speakers can't stand the blast. The NS500 Rock Monitor from Yamaha Audio. Only Yamaha Audio gives you a speaker dome of beryllium, the strongest yet lightest metal known to man. For the strength with clarity rock music demands. It's rock that shows what a speaker is really made of. And the NS500 Rock Monitor from Yamaha Audio is built for rock.
One team from the Western Conference. You got that? Yeah? Okay. And one team from the Eastern Conference. And after all the playoffs, they get together and they have the Grey Cup game. Do you understand?
We'll have those two donkeys, I'm sure, on Grey Cup Festival coming up next week, Frank.
Which one is the real jackass?
What's in a name? Watch Tom McKee with the Grey Cup Festival before the game next Sunday.
You guys are very bad. I thought you were talking about some guy ended up in Tampa last week.
That was too obvious, Tommy. Couldn't let it go by.
That'll teach you for calling us cute and cuddly. Here's Art Green. 50-yard line. He's got a gain of 8.
I got to call you something. We are on the air, you know.
That's going to be 2nd down, about 2. Second quarter underway. And if you have to stay warm, I can't think of a better way. That should do the job completely.
Second down, 2.5 to go.
Some interesting stats punched up by mistake there. Nobody's got a yard yet, folks. Rough Riders are leading 3-1 though.
Second down. Clemens. He's going deep downfield. Who's it? Touchdown!
Absolutely perfect throw by Tom Clements. Watch a little fake to John Falazetti. He once again has all the time in the world to throw the football, and Kusick is wide open behind Porter, number 24. A 57-yard strike from Tom Clements to Garrett Kusick, number 27.
And that is the kind of Ottawa Rough Rider offense we grew accustomed to seeing throughout the first half of the season. one that has not been executed during the last half, but today the Riders appear to be getting it all together as Jerry Organ tries the point after. It's good. Ottawa marching into a 10-1 lead. 1 minute and 4 seconds into the second quarter. Riders wasted no time in utilizing the wind advantage with a changeover at the end of the first quarter to get that touchdown, the first of the game. Hamilton as Dave Shaw and Jimmy Edwards back for the kickoff return from Jerry Organ. And Organ, of course, is capable of popping that ball up the 10 yards and trying the recovery. They practiced this one so well. They executed better perhaps than any CFL team. But this time he goes straight away and deep. Going down to shot, 6-yard line. 20. Threads his way through a crowd until he's brought down around the 27.
I'll tell you, that's excellent coverage when you see 4 or 5 of those black shirts around there all at once.
Well, in the first quarter, it was all Ottawa. Look at the net offense difference. 116 yards to 7 for Hamilton. And the Riders controlled the ball much of the time, but the only touchdown they have so far came early in this second quarter.
Hamilton's only managed 10 offensive plays so far in this ball game, Don, compared to the Rough Riders' 22. It really tells a story.
Big test for the Tiger Cats right here. They need a drive from the 27-yard line. First down. Flag is thrown. Angelo Santucci, good yardage, has about 10. Brought down by wonderful Mons, number 31.
A great trap block by Bart Evans there, number 54, and Mike Fantucci to open it up.
I think this is going to stand. It appears Ottawa was offside.
Fantucci, 68, was the fellow that the hole was created against. There's Tony Gabriel, number 77. The Eastern candidate is the outstanding Canadian in 1976. You see the penalty being refused.
And it's first down. Gain of a little over 10 yards for Santucci. They're at the 37 now. Evanston going wide left. Willis on the right side. Edwards. Off tackle for about 5, near the 42, maybe only 4 yards. Mike Panucci and Raines there combined to stop him for Ottawa.
It's only the third time Jimmy Edwards has touched the football, and you look at Angelo Santucci's yardage figures for the year. Of course, Edwards is the guy that's made the major contribution to this Ticat offense. He's got over 2,500 yards of total offense when you talk about kick returns, his pass receiving, and, of course, rushing for just over 1,000 yards.
Santucci can run with that ball. He, of course, is the blocking key for Jimmy Edwards. Right now, they fire the ball out to Angelo Santucci. Santucci will have a first down as he's taken down to the 48-yard line. So the Tiger Cats pick up first downs back-to-back. This drive continues. They played 2.5 minutes of the second quarter, and Hamilton trails the Ottawa Rough Riders 10-1. And lightning-quick Prescott touchdown pass to Gary Kuzik broke up a 3-1 game. They will now measure to confirm the first down from all the way across the field. There appears no doubt that Hamilton has it. There it is. Confirmation from referee Bill Fry. Santucci was brought down by Fanucci.
I was going to leave that alone, Don, because I tried it a while ago and I got it all turned around.
That certainly is abuse of poetic license, if nothing else. First down for Hamilton. Edwards broke away and then is down at the 51-yard line by Jim Piaskowski. We've seen him do that so many times and get away with it. But that time, Piaskowski contained him.
Almost exactly the same kind of move he made against the Argonauts 2 weeks ago when Burley hit him at about the 2.5-yard line, if you recall, Don, and he managed to squeeze away from him and go around the left side and score a touchdown. Just a fantastic year this young man's had.
Well, there is some verification of what you've been saying. Remember in Ottawa, the last game between these two we did here about a month ago. Same thing happened. He was hit. He put one hand down, kept his knee off the ground, turned around, and gained himself an extra 30 or 40 yards. Tremendous balance Jimmy Edwards possesses. 2nd and 8. Jones in trouble. In the sack. Number 68, Mike Panucci got him.
That's Mike Panucci that the Ottawa Rough Riders got from the Montreal Alouettes. And the initial pressure, however, is by Rudy Sims, number 65. As you see the old veteran come through and put the initial pressure on Jimmy Jones. There he is there, chasing Jones to the outside, and Panucci catches up with him, puts the Ticats all the way back to their own 36-yard line.
Big play by 68. Here's the 3rd down punt for Hamilton. Clark. Excellent kick into that wind. Bounces. Green doesn't know whether to get the ball or not. It bounced right to him finally, and he gets back to the 40-yard line. Confusion there as the two punt return men, each thought the other was going to grab the football.
I'll tell you, Art Green of the Riders was very, very fortunate there because that ball bounced up and he just managed to turn quickly enough and grab it. It would have hit him anyway and have been a free ball, of course.
Temperature about 2 below Celsius. Winds 15 to 20 miles an hour following the Ottawa Rough Rider attack in the 2nd quarter now. They lead 10-1. They've played 4.5 minutes. Clement handing off to Green. Green out to about the 48-yard line. Got himself 8 to 9 yards. Joe Harris made the tackle, number 45.
Don, they're just trying to drive that Ticat defense out of that 3-man line because they're not doing anything at all fancy. That big offensive line of the Riders is just blowing Hamilton out of there right now.
All kinds of Hamilton fans here today. 500 or more have flown in on charter flights for this Eastern final. Art Green picks up the 1st down at center field, a gain of 7 yards. Joe Harris, number 45, stopped him again. And they'll have to find a way to stop Art Green, who's been the mainstay of the Ottawa running attack in this final so far. We'll be back with more of the 2nd quarter in just a moment.
Ever since man invented the wheel, he's been putting machines to work for him. And at Canadian Pacific, because of our diversity, we probably have more machines than most companies. For instance, there's this 200-ton ladle for making steel. In forestry, there's the short wood harvester. In real estate, there's the building crane. And in transportation, there's the straddle carrier for containers. The pump for oil and gas. In mining, there's the mechanized drill. Telecommunications has the data display machine. Then, of course, there's the coffee machine. At Canadian Pacific, we think the variety of work we do is important to Canadians, and our machines are just one way of looking at it. Today's Canadian Pacific, working for all Canadians in essential industries.
Well, Art Green, who just picked up the 1st down for Ottawa, has 55 yards and 9 carries today, and has placed his team at center field for a 1st down. They lead 10-1, 9:40 to play in the 2nd quarter. They have him this time. No gain. Sam Britz, number 47, the middle linebacker. Wrapped up Art Green for perhaps the slight loss.
It's an absolutely beautiful fill by the former Edmonton Eskimo middle linebacker, Sam Britz, number 47. Tom Schutte, the right offensive guard of Ottawa, had come down the line trying to trap Mike Samples, but Britz stepped up there and made the big stop defensively. Just a little bit of action between Tony Gabriel and Boone on the far side of the field.
2nd and 10. Clements fires it out to Palazetti. Puts his head down and gets a first down. Fumbles the ball, but Ottawa got it back.
I believe it was called dead anyway.
I think so.
As Gabriel did pick up the fumble.
Gabriel would be very anxious to, having fumbled himself earlier when a play might have been stopped.
Good throw by Clemens, getting that ball out to Palazetti. He was almost off balance when he threw the football. Palazetti just puts his head down, knowing where that first down marker is. Larry Brune, number 30, who met him at the point, but Palazetti moved it up to the 43-yard line. First down for the Ottawa Rough Riders.
7 for 10. Fine performance passing by Tom Clements today. Draw to Green. Not much of a hole. Rolled back by Harris as he got near the 40-yard line and limits the gain to about 3 yards. 8 minutes remaining in the second quarter. In this game to decide which Eastern team will face the Saskatchewan Rough Riders next Sunday at the C&E in the 1976 Grey Cup. Kuzik and Avery are the wide receivers. Green and Palazetti are set with Foley in the slot. There's some bumping down there. Avery looks to the official for an interference call, which is not made.
Well, Avery was certainly in a better position than we are to know whether the interference was. He's now talking to the officials. He thought Shaw, number 37, was the Ticat defender guilty of the infraction. Let's take a look at it again. This is Avery, number 18. Ball is now being delivered by Clements. I don't know. I think it's a
he
good
ran
call.
into Shaw.
Yeah, good call by the officials. I don't think that was any interference by Shaw at all.
No.
The Plummer play gave him the elbow. Oh, no.
Check in later, Tom, will you?
I asked you which one was the real jackass.
I gotta keep talking down here, and my jaw's gonna freeze.
48-yard field goal by Jerry Organ. And it's in, despite Edwards' attempt at goaltending. He almost won the Vezina Trophy, but could not block it, and the Ottawa Rough Riders go on top 13-1 here. Midway in the second quarter at Lansdowne Park.
Name's finished, Harry. Okay, Sam. Canadian Pacific. How come it's on a map of the world? That's a worldwide company, Sam. Canadian Pacific? It's a Canadian company, but it operates worldwide. In mining, transportation, hotels, petroleum, steel, and forest products. It's a worldwide company, Sam.
Yeah? Then why don't they call it Canadian Pacific, Atlantic, Arctic,
Today's Canadian Pacific, working for all Canadians in essential industries, at home and abroad.
Well, everybody likes to recall exactly what took place back when, whatever year that may be. At halftime today, we're going to be taking a look at some of the key plays from 1969 to 1965 in the Grey Cup. Right now, let's take a look at this one.
It's first down from the 35 of Hamilton. They now trail 13-1. Jones is going for Willis. Woodward, number 26 of Ottawa, was in a much better position to bring the ball in.
I think the only thing Rod Woodward was upset about as he was covering Slade Willis was that the ball was so far overthrown because he was in an excellent position to pick off an interception.
Hamilton struggling offensively, and yet their big win last week was fashioned defensively. They forced 2 breaks and got 2 touchdowns. Scored once in a strike from Jones to Evanston, but today, offensively, it has been all Ottawa. Second and 10. That's good. Harris, he got rocked by Mark Cosmos. But held on to the ball to the 54-yard line, a 19-yard gain and a Hamilton first down. Well, we talked about awards at the top of the program, and we have one to acknowledge. That is the Quill Award. It has gone to Bob Moyer, our exec producer on CFL football, the man who was the executive producer of the 1976 Olympic Games, and a well-deserved award. The Olympics of 1976. The Quill Award to Bob Moore. Congratulations, Robert. Here's Edwards. Trying to break to the outside and runs out of bounds at the 50-yard line. He got about 6 yards. Mike Panucci chased him out of the Hamilton bench.
one of the better 6-yard runs you're going to see as you see Edwards take the ball here and he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Mike Raines, it appeared, number 78, who initially had the shot at him. He, however, does pick up 6 yards, so the Ticats will be 2nd and 4.
Might add the award, the Quill Award is presented by the Windsor Press Club, and Bob received that last night. All right, 2nd down and 4 now. No way for Santucci. It's going to be 3rd down. I think he went right up the back of Nick Vizcaya, his offensive tackle, and there was simply no opening for him.
Mike Raines and Rudy Sims, the 2 inside defensive tackles of the Rough Riders, did a tremendous job once again on the play. Did stand up Nick Vizcaya, the offensive tackle.
That's 3rd down and 7. Art Green is back there with Bill Hatanaka around the 5-yard line. They're showing that much respect. Even with the wind against Clark, he does not get a great kickoff. Bounces there. Turcotte fights for it. He wants to be a punt returner. And Hatanaka wrestled the ball away and was down right there at the 18-yard line. How come all you linemen want to carry the football so much?
Well, I don't know, but Jeff Turcotte, of course, going to be very, very proud of a man who wears that number. He just got a little confused there.
I thought everybody who wore that number got confused from time to time.
You mean 16?
Doesn't even know his number, folks. From the 18-yard line, it'll be 1st down.
Turcotte's had a tremendous year, actually, for these Riders. He's playing left offensive tackle. He's also played defense for them earlier in the year.
Here's the pitch out to Green. 20-yard line, fights for every inch he can get. Harris is there with McLaren. When they dance him back, it'll be a 3-yard gain.
Number 40.
Ottawa Rough Riders leading 13-1. Ron Woodward of the Ottawa Rough Riders. He's the veteran of that deep secondary. And like everybody else, trying to keep warm here on a very cold day at Lansdowne Park in the capital. Those heaters help a great deal. Clements getting a bit of a rush. Decides to go, but Boone throws him out of bounds unceremoniously at the 25-yard line. It's Alan Moffat, number 56, that almost tore his sleeve off. Well, I'll tell you, on a cold day, a lineman doesn't have to worry about anything in the way of utilization of fingers, so he just bound it all up and kept it warm. Moffat. I thought you fellas were tough, you linemen, that you wouldn't mind getting cold.
We didn't see anything about that. No, I don't recall that at all.
Right, you're cute and cuddly. Here is the kick. With the wind, a good one by Jerry Organ to the 43-yard line. Fumbled by Jimmy Edwards. It's a free ball. Ottawa! Jim Moore, number 57, gives the Rough Riders a 1st down to the 33.
You see the fumble once again. The ball comes right down to Jimmy Edwards. It's a tough one to handle because that wind had blown it almost like a knuckleball as it was coming down. And Ken Moore, 57, picks up the next break for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Gabriel did get a hand on it. You see him stumble over Edwards. And then 57, Ken Moore, pick up the fumble recovery. 1st down, Ottawa Rough Riders. Hamilton Ticat, 33-yard line. 3:23 remaining in this 1st half.
In Hamilton's 2 recent big victories, they did not give a turnover up. Today they are, and it's making quite a difference. Ottawa with Green romping inside the 30-yard line, downed around the 26 by Steve Jelly. That's going to be a 7-yarder.
Green has now picked up 69 yards and 13 carries so far in this 1st half, and you can see why. He's running with a great deal of authority.
This is 2nd down, about 3.5 yards to go for Art Green, Tom Clements, and the Ottawa Rough Riders, leading 13-1. Foley was hit around the 21-yard line, but that'll be enough for the 1st down. Joe Harris stopped him, but could not deny the 1st down for the Ottawa Rough Rider offensive machine, which is well-oiled and keeps right on rolling in a 13-1 lead with 2.5 minutes until halftime.
CP Air Flight 65 customer research survey about to begin. pardon me, sir. When I mention Canadian Pacific, what comes to mind?
Steel.
Steel?
I work for their subsidiary, Algoma Steel, one of the most modern plants in the industry.
Well, what about
one
air?
of the biggest steel makers in the country.
Airplane.
Structural steel, seamless tubing, plate,
Thank you.
sheet
Thank you.
steel, rails.
Thank you.
Steel making capacity close to 4 million tons and assured raw material supply beyond the year 2000.
Young lady, as you sit on this fine airplane, what do you think about it?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Like, well, I mean, if...
Oh, stewardess.
Hmm?
About Canadian Pacific.
Oh, well, my boyfriend says they're big in steel. New modern facilities, the widest strip mill in the world, widest plate mill in the country.
The end of customer
Increased
survey for
production capacity,
CP Steel.
planning ahead.
Today's Canadian Pacific, working for all Canadians in essential industries.
Maybe cold outside, which it is, but the Ottawa Rough Rider fans are warmed by the 13-1 lead their riders have taken. And the first down, the opportunity presenting itself now for the Hamilton 21-yard line. Green fights to about the 17 for a gain of 4. Joe Harris, number 45, met him.
Son, you talked about the Rider fans keeping warm. There's also another fellow out there that's warm. That's Tom Clements. He's hit on 2/3 of his passes so far this afternoon. Of course, the big one was to Kusick for 57 yards for the touchdown. He's been 8 for 12 now for 141 yards.
I'd say Clements is not only warm, he's hot today.
Tom completed 59.9% of his passes throughout the season. Outstanding record of completion percentages for the Ottawa quarterback. You see the penalty, however.
Got a holding call. Don Smith, number 64, the Ottawa center, was caught holding, so the Tiger Cats will take the penalty and roll them back. Adenaka comes in now with a play from George Brancato, relieving Gary Kusick. It is going to be first down over again, now 20 yards to go from Hamilton's 31. Don't forget, it all happens next weekend. Breakup Day, Sunday, November 28th on the CBC television network.
On Saturday down, we'll have a replay of the 1975 game as well as the Grey Cup parade.
Good fake by Clements. Now the rush. End zone for Gabriel. Oh, he couldn't hang on to the ball. Gabriel had it all lined up. He was in between the two defenders, Brune and Cook, and it got away at the very last second.
Well, I think he mistimed this. I think he went up just a little bit too early. You see him here. He's coming down as the ball hits him in the hands, and he drops it. A very unusual circumstance for Tony Gabriel.
That was touchdown all the way.
Tough chance, but one that we've seen Tony catch so many times over the course of his career. You almost expect him to get them all.
The man is human after all. Avery going wide right. Adenaka on the left side. Palazetti and Green lined up behind Tom Clements. They go to Palazetti up the middle across the 25 at the 23. And they're going to leave themselves third down and 12. Moffett and Samples made the containment. And here comes Jerry Organ with the Ottawa field goal team. This could give the Riders a 15-point lead with 2 minutes to play in the first half. Woodward holding. Organ's got it. So the Ottawa Rough Riders have a 16-1 lead over the Hamilton Tiger Cats with 1 minute and 51 seconds left until halftime. Halftime, we're going to look back at some of the great Grey Cup moments, some of the individual plays that represented victory against defeat for the teams involved. Hamilton, first down from the 35, following a field goal by Jerry Organ. Jones to Santucci. And he was wrapped up around the 38-yard line by wonderful Mon supporting the play, and by Mark Cosmos, the man who hit him first.
I think the Rider fans are also like the shot to Larry Cameron, number 52. Cosmos' linebacking partner came in and took at Santucci as well as he was going down. Rider defense are playing with a lot of enthusiasm at this point with 1:30 remaining in the first half.
Second down, 6.5 to go. Jones for Harris. Oh, he fell down. He got tangled up on that hard turf at the 45-yard line, and he had a complete line on the ball. Nobody near him. You saw what happened to him.
No question about it. The turf caused this. Don, as you see Harris slipping and falling right in front of his own bench. As saw his head coach Bob Shaw trying to help him up. There's been several instances in this first half of this ball game where that turf has been a very integral part. You saw Tom Clemens slip and fall very early in the ball game, losing 6 yards. And the Ottawa Rough Riders had a 2nd and 1 situation. They had to settle for a field goal from that point.
Here's Clark's kick. Bouncing. Good handle and bounce back around the 26-yard line. A flag is thrown. And Hadanaka gets chopped down right there at the 25 by Bill Harrison. Tom Clements is going to be relieved by Conrad Holloway now. Apparently he got a finger in the eye and it popped his contact lens out. And for this series, it's going to be Conrad Holloway at quarterback as they assess the penalty markers that went down. Referee Bill Fry. So it's no yards Hamilton and then flipping against the Ottawa Rough Riders, the distribution of penalties.
See if you can get a shot here of number 41, Kent Clark. He almost takes Hadanaka's head off. He's the second Ticat in. Watch the shot he takes at him. He almost got the young receiver of the Riders right there at the 20.
Luckily,
First down,
he did
Ottawa.
not get all of them. Holloway hands to Green, bursts through an opening and reaches the 29-yard line, picking up 9 yards. Sam Britt stopped him. We have 59 seconds until the end of the second quarter. And the Ottawa Rough Riders are impressively in front, 16-1 over Hamilton.
A lot of that's due to number 20 you're looking at there, Art Green. He's gained 78 yards in this first half. He's been very, very impressive, as is his quarterback, Tom Clements.
Handoff from Holloway to Palizzetti will result in an Ottawa first down. He got across the 30-yard line, picked up 2 to 3 yards. 39 seconds left now until halftime. And that is the accomplishment of Holloway, playing mainly in relief of the number 1 quarterback, Tom Clements, throughout the 1976 season. Art Green, Holloway remaining conservative, keeping the ball on the ground. The Rough Riders more than content with their 15-point lead. Not willing to make any mistakes and risk interceptions this late in the second quarter with 20 seconds remaining. Second down, 4 yards to go. What a day Art Green has had. Tom Clements with his superb execution and passing ability. These have been the keys to the Ottawa Rough Rider drive. Right now, Holloway is in at quarterback. Fakes beautifully, keeps the ball. At center field, he is hacked down by Harris after a big first down gain. 1 second is showing. Now that is going to be it. That will be the end of the first half of the Eastern Final. And the Ottawa Rough Riders and their supporters are a happy lot. Tremendous ovation for the Ottawa team as they head to the dressing room on the far side. Bob Shaw has got abundant work to do with the Hamilton Tiger Cats if they're to mount a comeback and appear in the Grey Cup game next Sunday at the C&E in Toronto. Ottawa looking very stale, very flat in their final 2 league games with a week off to get ready for this one, are putting it all together, and they lead it 16-1 at halftime. To tell you now about our halftime show, let's join Tom McKee.
Well, Don, as you know, we have just 1 week to go before the Grey Cup game. Everybody has their own favorite. It might be the Fog Bowl of '62. If you go back further, it could even be the Mud Bowl when it was played at Varsity Stadium. We'll be taking a look at some of the key plays of the last 7 Grey Cups. during halftime. Frank Rigney will be along with us. He'll also be checking the highlights of the first 2 quarters of today's game. The score at halftime, the Ottawa Rough Riders 16, Hamilton 1.
Look, beavers. Efficient little rascals. When they cut a tree, they use every last bit. For homes, dams, food. At Canadian Pacific, we're a lot like the beaver. We use every last bit of the log, too, at our subsidiary, Great Lakes Paper in Thunder Bay. Biggest plant of its kind in the country, by the way. Come on, I'll show you efficiency.
We use the log to make studs for building. Wood chips for craft pulp used in quality paper products. Ground wood pulp for newsprint. Flakes for wafer board used in building. And sawdust and shavings for particle board used for cupboards and furniture. Tree bark as fuel saves hydropower. You see? No waste. The whole log is turned into useful products right here. At Canadian Pacific, we're busy as beavers in forest products. And just as efficient, too.
Today's Canadian Pacific, working for all Canadians in essential industries.
Hey, all you teeners, you want a free potbelly? Want to huff and puff when you climb the stairs? Want to be like a lot of people you know? Just do what they do, baby. Nothing. Move it, baby. That's participation.
With Frank Rigney. Frank, we're just around the corner from the 1976 Grey Cup. You've been a broadcaster of Grey Cup games. You're a player of Grey Cup games. You must have some fond memories.
Tommy, I got an opportunity to play in 5 of them, which, of course, was a tremendous opportunity for anybody that lasted only 10 years, which I did. There were a number of different games that I remember very well, including the Fog Bowl, which I'm sure you remember in Toronto.
I do.
The Wind Bowl in 1965, and, of course, the overtime game. I guess the overtime game's the one I remember the most because it's the only game I ever played in that took 2 days to complete.
But it must be very thrilling for a player, isn't it?
No question about it. I had a chance to play in the Rose Bowl in college, but the Grey Cup was far more exciting than the Rose Bowl to me.
Okay, let's take a look at some key plays of the last 7 years. And my favorite goes back to 1969. This was the one and only Grey Cup game played at Montreal's Autostad, the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, the Ottawa Rough Riders. The announced last game for Russ Jackson. The Western Riders put the blitz on Jackson all afternoon, but he took advantage of it. A screen to Ronnie Stewart here. And big help from his guard springs Stewart free for 80 yards, and the Major scored. Gave Ottawa a 14-9 lead at the time. And remember this next play. The blitz is on again, but in the huddle, Jackson had told Stewart to get open, and he'd find him. He did, but just in time as he unloaded before being decked by the middle linebacker. The Ottawa club gave Jackson a storybook finish, not only to this specific game, but also to his playing career. Although for some, things are a little tougher today than they were then. In 1970, the Cup game featured Calgary Stampeders against the Montreal Alouettes. The location, a very muddy field at the old CNE Stadium, Toronto. No doubt this is one of the great broken plays of Grey Cup history. Moses Denson caught, wisely finds Ted Alflin in the end zone. It was one of the few games Alflin played in the CFL. Turnovers are common in Grey Cup games. Alflin picked off one for Montreal right here. And, of course, that gave them extremely good field position. Watch on this next play as heavy pressure comes in from the right side of your screen. But a handoff, almost a Statue of Liberty play, gives the ball to Tom Pullen. And Pullen is in for the touchdown. That gave the Owls a 6-point lead. They held the Stamps scoreless the rest of the way. Those turnovers, they killed. It's 1971 now. The game swings to the west, Vancouver. Again, the Calgary Stampeders. The opponents, the Toronto Argonauts. The Western champs showed early strength and determination. Watch here as Jesse Mims comes crashing through. At this point, Calgary led 14-3. Argos closed it to 14-11. Remember this one? 3 minutes to play in the game. The CFL's all-time pass interceptor, Dick Thornton, picks off a Keeling pass intended for Henderson. Yes, he picks it off again, and the Argos are going to be in excellent scoring position. Subsequent plays take the ball down to the 8-yard line. Watch on this play, the handoff goes to Leon McQuay. Number 33, Bill Simon, makes a good block on that right cornerback.
And also keep your eye on number 15 for Calgary, Larry Robinson. He puts pressure on McQuay. McQuay tries to cut and fumbles away Toronto's first Grey Cup chance in 19 years. It was Calgary's first since 1948. Ivor Wynne Stadium, Hamilton, the scene in 1972. And Hamilton's Tony Gabriel teams up with rookie quarterback Chuck Ely against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. What a finish. Less than 2 minutes to play, a 10-10 tie. Ely to Gabriel. Obviously, there's no pressure on the rookie quarterback. Here he goes again. Ely back to pass. Gabriel. And they're at the midfield stripe. Not finished. Ely makes it 3 in a row to Gabriel as the Hamilton Tiger Cats move down the field. Now we move to the last play of the game. If Ian Sutter gets the field goal, a Grey Cup guaranteed for Hamilton. Otherwise, maybe overtime. That's the story. Hamilton 13, Saskatchewan 10. Back to Toronto for the 1973 Grey Cup. This time on artificial turf. The Edmonton Eskimos meet the Ottawa Roughriders. And rough ride it was, too, as their fire-put quarterback, Tom Wilkinson, is racked up. Watch here as Soupy Campbell grabs him by the face mask. That sends him reeling to the sideline. And to make sure of it, Adams and Smith come in late and hammer Wilkinson to the ground. It was a tough game in a positive sense, too. With this play in the third quarter, the difference. The strong Jim Evenson cracked in for the big score. And watch the man in the toque with some potentially dangerous, over-enthusiastic reactions. That's Jack Goda, head coach, part-time cheerleader. The 1974 championship was decided on a very wet, raw day at Empire Stadium. The Montreal Alouettes, the Edmonton Eskimos. This was the day they put the foot back in football. This was the day for Al's Don Sweet. The sweet toe of success, you might say. No less than 4 times was he successful. An all-time Grey Cup game record. The Alouettes went on to win the Grey Cup in 1974 by a score of 20-7. Last year saw Edmonton in the national final for the 3rd straight year. Back again, too, were the Alouettes. And the extreme cold in Calgary dictated this was to be a kicking game, no touchdowns. Dave Cutler hits from 52 yards out, and the Eskimos have a slim 9-7 lead. The Owls fight back to scoring position with plays like this from his own 42-yard line. Sonny Wade, a good pass, a ball well thrown and excellently picked off by Joe Petty. It all boiled down to this field goal attempt by Don Sweet, but watch the ball holder, Jimmy Jones. He can't get it down in time. Sweet's timing is off. And the Owls pull up short on a 9-8 score. And, of course, this year's Grey Cup game will tell its own story next Sunday with our live coverage from Exhibition Park in Toronto. Frank Rigney tells the story of today's game in just a moment.
At Canadian Pacific, we think of the work of Pan-Canadian Petroleum, our oil and gas subsidiary, something like this. You see, searching for new supplies of oil and gas is the most important work we do. Our Earth scientists, using all the skills of modern technology, define likely areas, and then we drill, so we can look under the Earth's crust. We don't always find the oil or gas we're looking for, because nature hides it well. But we're one of the most active drillers in Canada. And as the largest Canadian company in the business, we spend about $50 million a year in exploration and development. You might say that at Canadian Pacific, we're very well drilled in the oil and gas business. Today's Canadian Pacific working for all Canadians in essential industries.
Car for car. Every size, every class. Pontiac challenges the competition. Want good gas mileage? Get a Pontiac.
Pontiac, the mileage maker.
Based on Transport Canada approved test methods, Pontiac 77 Parisienne is rated at 28 miles per gallon highway, 20 city. Fuel economy with family comfort. The completely new Parisienne, a Pontiac mileage maker.
Pontiac, the mileage maker.
The smart little Acadian and Astra, the sporty Sunbird and Firebird, the compact Ventura, Le Mans, Grand Prix, the all-new Parisienne. For 1977, Pontiac challenges the competition.
Pontiac, the mileage maker.
This is CBC. CBLT, Channel 5 in Toronto, Cable 6.
The Ottawa Rough Riders regained their first half of 1976 form in that first 30 minutes as they put 16 points on the board. They were really impressive offensively as they put on 276 yards against the Hamilton Ticats, 42 yards in terms of total offense. Tom Clements hit 9 out of 13 in that first half and was very impressive throwing the football. His first completion was to Tony Gabriel, but it turned out to be a big break for the Hamilton Ticats. Watch as Joe Harris, number 45, takes the ball away from Gabriel before he goes down. This was the first break of the ball game, going, of course, to the Hamilton Ticats, and it led to Ken Clark's single point, the only points the Ticats got in the first half. Clements was not only impressive throwing the football, he also had to take off on one or two occasions, as you see him slip here and continue downfield for a 10-yard pickup as the Ottawa Rough Rider first drive stalled at the 5-yard line. They picked up a field goal on that one and led 3-1. The big play, of course, in that first half was this one. Gary Kusick finds a wide-open spot deep in that Hamilton Ticat defensive backfield as he beats Lewis Porter, number 24, and Tom Clements throws an absolutely beautiful touchdown pass to the young receiver of the Riders. This put the Ottawa Rough Riders ahead 10-1 over the Ticats. And the Riders once again got on the scoreboard as Jimmy Edwards, the outstanding Ticat all during 1976, fumbled on this attempted punt recovery. Tony Gabriel kicked it away, and it was recovered by the Rough Riders once again. That led to a Jerry Argan field goal, and the Ottawa Rough Riders 15-point lead over the Ticats. So the score at halftime is the Ottawa Rough Riders 16, the Hamilton Ticats 1, and we'll be back with the second half kickoff in just a moment.
Breathe the fresh and wintry air. Watch the snowflakes dancing there and let loose. Anything you do and take along the blue and let it share a smile with you. Nothing really to it, bundle up and do it. Take the time to see the view. Every color, every hue and blue smiles along with you. Piling up the hay or hitching up the sleigh on any night of day you can. Make it a time to be happy. Make it a time for a blue. Smile with a fat blue. Blue smiles along with you. When you think of cheer, you kind of think of beer. When you think of beer, let it be a blue. Labatt's Blue.
And so it comes down to a final 30 minutes of final football playoff action to decide which of these two teams goes to the Grey Cup. In the first half, it was all Ottawa on the scoreboard 16-1, and statistically, you can see for yourself. Net offense, 276 yards against 42 for the Tiger Cats. 12 first downs to 3. Look at the difference in rushing yardage, in passing yardage, and in turnovers by Hamilton, something they had not done in their key previous wins. The Hamilton Tiger Cats not getting it together today in any form, resembling what they did last week against Montreal and the week before against the Toronto Argonauts in the game they had to win to ensure a playoff spot. But they still have a half left, and this man, Bob Shaw, has done so much to motivate the Hamilton football team, rebuild them, reshape them, and even get them as far as his Eastern final. You can be assured the Tiger Cats are not out of it yet, even though they trail by 15 points. They're going to take the advantage of the wind here in the third quarter. Ottawa, of course, has the choice at halftime, the home team. And that'll give the Rough Riders the wind coming home in the fourth quarter. They think they can hold Hamilton. They hope they can. And then coast home with the wind in the final period. And, of course, the winner goes to the Grey Cup game next Sunday. And that Grey Cup game will be extensively covered and all the activities around it on CBC television. Short kick by Oregon, pops it into the air, 35-yard line. And Bill Harrison gets back to the 44. Piaskowski made the tackle. I'm not sure if Oregon is misfiring on his planned short kickoff or just not getting enough into the ball.
I don't think he didn't hit that one good because if he was attempting a short kickoff, he certainly hit it too far. You saw Harrison bring it back and give the Ticats great field position at their own 44-yard line. As we take a look at that Ottawa Rough Rider big defensive unit, they held the Ticats to a total of 42 yards in the first 30 minutes.
First down. Jones for Evanston. That's the first time they found him today, and he made the catch up around the 54. And he probably got back on his own, they rule, and so does not get the first down.
And some kind of catch that was. It appeared that Tosh, number 17, was attempting to cover Evanston, but watch this when he picks it up just before it hits the ground. Great catch by the veteran of the CFL, Terry Evanston.
He missed the first down by about a yard. What a fiery competitor he is, number 25. Oh, I don't think so. Santucci got wrapped up by the left side of the Ottawa defensive line. And I think he has missed the first down. Let's see where the ball comes down. There's a career record of Terry's touchdown receptions. Panucci and Sims and Cosmos combined to stop that last play, and that'll bring about a measurement.
Watch Cosmos, number 50, the top of your screen. He appeared to me to be the one that got the good shot on him, Don. You see him meeting right at the 52-yard line. What a year he's had. Mark Cosmos, number 50 of the Riders.
And the measurement indicates they are short. It's third down, and Hamilton is going to go. They have a good yard. 3rd and 1 from the Hamilton 53-yard line. A big test for the Ottawa defensive line right here. The ball pops out of Jones' hands, gets it right back again. He's away. And he's got a first down. And no quarterback on 3rd and 1 ever worked harder for a first down than Jimmy Jones right there.
I'll tell you, he shows just a tremendous amount of natural ability that he does have to running with that football. You see him not get possession of it at all as it's centered from Henry Washchuck, the offensive center of the Ticats. He goes to the outside. Cosmos appears to have him pinned for about a 5-yard loss. He gets around Piaskowski. Harris finally gets a bit of a block on Tosh, but nevertheless, a first down for the Ticats, a very, very critical first down in this ball game.
Brancato's people couldn't stop him. Now he's got a first down. Out to Jimmy Edwards. Edwards was cut down by Rudy Sims as he made a big move at the 51-yard line. And that limits the gain to about 2.5 yards. And Edwards unhappy with himself in not getting away from Sims.
I'll tell you, he does a tremendous job of getting away from the first two Ottawa defenders. It appeared at that point in time he should have cut up the field. A little easier to see from up here than it is from Jimmy's point of view. See the move he makes here. And now if he'd have cut up the field, he might well have picked up some additional yardage. Gain is limited to 2 yards.
Jones 6 for 10, but only 47 yards today. He'll throw this time. He'll go. Big opening for him. He's got a first down inside the 35-yard line. Wonderful. Mons finally stopped him. Mons slow to get up after that play. So Jones opening things up for Hamilton now.
Big Mike Harris, his flankers out there once again. There's slot back number 7 throwing the block. Enable Jones to pick up another first down. 2 key first downs by the Ticat quarterback taking off with that football.
Peter Kreppen has replaced Barnes, who limps off after that last play. Kreppen playing his first game after suffering a broken leg. Fumble by Edwards. Gets it back again, and he is ridden down. Back at the 43-yard line, so Hamilton will save a lot of yardage there, but it was Mike Finucci who pounced on him, pushed him back.
Don, you commented earlier on about how good Hamilton was in not turning over the football in their last 2 victories, but they're having a lot of trouble holding on to the ball right now. Jones had just fumbled on that 3rd and 1 situation, and you see Edwards fumbling once again. Wouldn't appear to be, this time of the ball game, the weather shouldn't be bothering them that bad because they just come in after the halftime where they should be warmed up.
Ottawa in a 6-deep defense now on 2nd down and 18. They rush Brenner. Here's the long throw going to the far sideline. Touchdown for Terry Evanson. And the Tiger Cats are alive and well in Ottawa.
Well, we just commented on Peter Kreppen coming into this ball game, number 10, and he appears to be the fellow that Evanson beats. Watch him here. Just an absolutely perfect throw by Jimmy Jones, who had taken off running with the football, picked up 2 key first downs, and what a throw here. Kreppen thought he had it intercepted. Right through his hands to Terry Evanson, and a big break for the Ticats. Great play by Terry Evanson once again.
He makes the big plays time and time again. Number 25 scored a big touchdown against Montreal last week, a similar pass pattern. Now he's put the Tiger Cats back in the ball game. It's 16-7. Here's the point after attempt by Ken Clark.
What a Cinderella story this would be if the Ticats come back after losing 16-1 at halftime in this ball game.
They're now 8 points down on the conversion by Ken Clark. And so, with 4 minutes and 10 seconds gone in the 3rd quarter, Ottawa leads 16-8. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Take off in your very own plane. Win this Cessna plus flying lessons in Yamaha Audio's Takeoff with Yamaha contest. And that's only one prize. You could win a takeoff to Tahiti. Or take off to ski the Bugaboos. But it starts when you take off for your Yamaha audio dealer. Take a listen to Yamaha's superb sound. Then take home an entry form. Enter the Takeoff with Yamaha contest. Your Yamaha audio dealer has details.
Some jobs are tougher than others, and people with tough jobs want tough trucks. Make your pickup at GMC. Like this new for 77 one-ton pickup with 4-wheel drive. A GMC is good to have around, to get around and get it done.
We're coming home. The gang there yet?
Yes, they're all here.
Getting a truck? Get one that's built by the truck people. Get a GMC.
That's Evanson catching the ball for the first major score of this ball game for the Ticats, and now they're about to kick off as we return to live action.
On that replay, it looked as though Kreppen might have just ticked the ball with his hands, almost knocked it away. Here's the ball bounding down to Hatanaka. Stumbles and falls at the 20-yard line, and they have him. Harris made sure he stayed down. So the Hamilton Tiger Cat defenders now start to fly the way the Ottawa defense did in the first half, because a big play like the Evanson touchdown can often do that to a team, give them a tremendous psychological lift. And it's a key series for the Ottawa Rough Riders now, Frank, to try to reestablish themselves.
Absolutely, and they are working against this wind as the Ticats have the wind advantage at their back right now.
Tom Clements is back in. He gave way to Holloway late in the 2nd quarter. Art Green. He's contained short of the 25-yard line. He gained about 3. Look at Mike Samples get up there, firing up that Hamilton defensive team.
This is really the key for the Ticats. If this defensive front 4 and front 3 with their 4 linebackers can stop Art Green. He gained 84 yards in his first half. He's limited to just under 4 yards on this one, however. Ticats have a very big play defensively coming up right now.
A big 2nd down play indeed, and 7 to go. All kinds of time for Tom Clements. Now he's in trouble. And he got the pass off to Art Green. And it may be a first down. It is a first down for Ottawa.
Just an unbelievable throw by Tommy Clements. Dumping the ball out to Art Green at the last possible second. He had all day to try to find a receiver, and he couldn't do it until we had a Ticat draped all over him. I think it was Mike Samples coming from his right defensive end spot. You see Clements dumping the ball off just on his way down. What a play by the young quarterback from the Ottawa Rough Riders.
Imagine throwing a ball that well and that accurately when you're almost on the ground, but that's what Tom Clements did right to Art Green. And a big conversion, and a series continues for Ottawa as Green pumps into about the 38-yard line to get 4. 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Ottawa has an 8-point lead at 16-8.
Mark Cosmos, I think, looking on. Great linebacker of the Ottawa Rough Riders. Concerned Rough Rider Ball Club right now that the Ticats have the impetus going their way.
Clements can't find a target and runs for the first down. Well, it's obvious what you have to do if you want to keep the team with the wind out of range. That is hold on to the ball. Right now, let's bring in Tom McKee.
And looky here what I found. Mark Stremel is one of the hard-working organizers this coming week in Toronto with all the festivities. Mark?
Right. Okay. Most of the things that are going on this week are the Grey Cup kickoff luncheon, which is the start of the whole week, and then we go from there to, of course, the crowning of the Miss Grey Cup, and then the parade on Saturday, and then the game on Sunday.
We have a few games of chance thrown in as well.
For sure, casinos and dances. There's entertainment and activities. We've all worked really, really hard on getting everything organized, and I think it should go off really well. I hope a lot of people turn out.
Oh, I'm sure they will, because it's always a great time. I'll tell you, if it's anywhere near as hot as this Ottawa Rough Rider team is right now, then I think we're in for something. Okay? Right.
Thanks.
And we'll be along with our own festival, of course. That'll be at noon Eastern Standard Time. Next Sunday, we'll try to check in on what Marg has been doing all week and her organizers. So stay with us all week long.
All right, Thomas. Art Green, you saw carry for about 4. This is 2nd and 6 at the 52.5-yard line. Clements to Palizzetti. Another Ottawa first down.
Jeff Turcott, the left offensive tackle, gets a key block here as he knocks Shaw out of the way, number 37, and allows Palizzetti to pick up this first down.
Ottawa with some very big second down plays all the way along as Hamilton tried to pin them and get the ball back at about midfield with the wind behind them. But the Tiger Cats are fast running out of wind advantage time. 7 minutes left in the third quarter. It is 16-8 for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Palizzetti 1 to 2 yards, no more, across the 50. Met by Sam Britz and Joe Harris, that familiar duo in the linebacking spots for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 6:50 remaining in the third quarter at Lansdowne Park.
Labatt's 50. Easy to say, easy to enjoy. Easily Canada's favorite ale. You enjoy yourself. And you drink 50 because it's got a taste you enjoy. It's just that simple. You don't have to explain it. You just say it. 50. You can't say beer any better.
All you have to say is 50. You can't say beer any better.
Grey Cup weekend indeed is next weekend on CBC. The Grey Cup game on Sunday, preceded, of course, by Grey Cup Preview and Festival. And on the day previous, Saturday, a replay of the 1975 Grey Cup game. And on a Saturday afternoon in Toronto, the Grey Cup Parade. You'll see it right here on the CBC television network. Right now, you're watching 2nd and 8 for the Ottawa Rough Riders at the Hamilton 48. Clements steps up out of trouble. A flag is thrown. going way back and unloads the ball. Deflected to Charlie Brandon. He's not eligible, but he's going to have a go. We have a league record for flags. We have 4 down on the field.
That was a great one, Jeff. A league record for flags down on the field. Sounds like a baseball broadcast. I think the first one is going to be Tom Schutte, number 56, a right offensive guard. I think that's a flag that went down and caught the Ottawa Rough Riders for holding on the play. Let's see if we can pick it up. There's so many flags on the play, it's very difficult to determine what is going to happen after this one.
Referee Bill Fry has told Charlie Brandon to begin with, you can't carry the ball.
Charlie says, I don't particularly want it. Watch how he's hit after he caught it. Clemens had the initial pressure put on him by Harris, as you see, number 45. He just dumps the ball out right before he's sacked by Harrison Samples. He took quite a shot. Samples appeared to be hurt on the play and is being taken off by the Ticat trainers.
Actually, you talk about the baseball lingo. If I were going to use that, I'd probably have to say that it's a league record for flags on a Sunday in November in Ottawa during a day game. All it was the ineligible receiver, and so it becomes 3rd down and 15, and a kick by Jerry Organ is underway. No problem there with 5 yards. Now a flag is thrown, likely a face guard call or a piling on call. Lewis Porter got hammered pretty heavily. It's going to be piling on.
I think Hedges, Brian Hedges, number 53, came in there late, no question about it.
Ottawa very concerned. They don't want to give the Tiger Cats any extra yardage with the win. Here's Bill Fry, the referee.
I'm sure it's called against Hedges, number 53. Watch him come in here late. Good call. No need for that.
Samples taken off a play ago, was at the Hamilton bench.
He got a pretty good crack there. He got it right on the nose, too, and he's got a little bit of a nosebleed, but he's too big, too strong, and too determined to let that stop him for long.
He's kind of cute and cuddly as well, isn't he, Tom?
38-yard line is the line of scrimmage for the Hamilton first down. Jones looking for Evans, who is wide open, finally finds him, and Terry fell as the ball arrived and kicks the turf in disgust. That's happened a few times today in very important situations.
Well, as we see it once again, you'll see that Terry slips and falls and almost makes one of the great catches of his life in spite of that. He gets a hand on this ball, and then it hits him in the foot as he's going down. Very upset with himself, but obviously not his fault, slipping on this frozen turf.
He was open for a good 3 or 4 seconds before Jimmy Jones even spotted him.
Frank, you were talking about that earlier. It's just a little crust on top that's frozen, and that makes it extremely greasy.
2nd down play for Hamilton. Jones fires it complete to Harris. It'll be a 1st down, Tiger Cats near midfield. Alan Brenner drove Mike Harris down.
I think we've got a holding call down here, Dono. As you take a look at Mike Harris hooking right in front of Al Brenner. It appeared to me to be Bart Evans once again holding Rudy Sims. They're going to be bringing it back. Big fix for the Riders as the Ticats had picked up a 1st down.
That's a big penalty. Instead of being at the 55, now the ball is back now at the 29-yard line. So it's 2nd and 20 from the 29. Only 4:52 remaining in the 3rd quarter. That's all the wind advantage time remaining for Jimmy Jones of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He's going deep for Evans again. Oh, and he almost got to the ball. Oh, the anger and the frustration seething inside that young man.
Look at the effort and how close Terry comes to this ball. What a catch that would have been. Jones threw that ball about 65 yards in the air, and Terry, who has the only touchdown for the Ticats in this ball game, almost caught up with it.
He is firmly convinced that he could have and should have made the catch. He's that kind of competitor. Art Green stands back along with Bill Hananaka around the 25-yard line. Clark with a rush gets it away. Moving up forward is Green at the 35. And he was clipped at the 30-yard line, 38-yard line, and down around the 42.
John, you talk about great catches. Ken Clark made one that was just about as good as any catch we've had this afternoon. He had to go way up for that football and got off a 46-yard punt.
Ottawa would just love to control the final 4 minutes of this third quarter and then work with the wind to protect their lead further in the fourth. They lead 16-8. 4 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in quarter three. On Chevrier with Frank Rigney and Tom McKee. We hope you're enjoying this, the Eastern Conference Final, 1976 from Ottawa. Art Green broke one tackle from Samples. Man is finally wrestled down to the 45. He picked up 2 yards, maybe 3. Sam Britz met him. Samples, of course, back in there after that shot he took a few plays ago. Art Green has been the dominant offensive figure for the Ottawa Rough Riders in this game. He gained 84 yards in the first half. And at this point, he's a yard away from the 100-yard total for the day.
Rob Woodward as a defensive safety looking on for the Riders. I'm sure his offensive mate's on as they have a second mate situation.
The draw, and it was read well by Moffat, and he wraps up Palazetti for about a yard gain of the 46, and the Ottawa punting team will come on. We have 3 minutes and 10 seconds until the end of the third quarter, and Ottawa leads 16-8 over Hamilton.
Not all speakers can stand the blast. Meet the NS451 Rock Monitor from Yamaha Audio. Dynamite vibes. Yamaha Audio Rock Monitors for the strength with clarity rock music demands. The Yamaha Audio NS451 Rock Monitor is built for rock. Only $149.95.
Some of the clearest, bluest water in all the world is only one day away on a Boeing jetliner. The Baja, the Caribbean, the South Pacific. Of course, some people have everything right in their own backyard. But if you don't, and warm water is your thing, get hold of your airline and get on a Boeing jetliner. There's a lonely cove somewhere waiting for you.
All right, we move to the final 3 minutes and 10 seconds of the third quarter. Ottawa Rough Riders facing 3rd and 7 are about to give the ball back on a punt to the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Hamilton will have just under 3 minutes to work with the wind. They trail 16-8. Big rush on Oregon. He gets away a short one around the 45, and it bounces out of bounds right on the 40-yard line. So the Tiger Cats will start near midfield with 2:47 remaining.
Only a 24-yard kick for Oregon there. Alan Moffat, 56, put a lot of pressure on the Ottawa kicker.
Alan Moffat, one of the most improved football players throughout this season, game by game, coming out stronger and stronger for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, the defensive tackle. Jones, they try to get Edwards free. He gets away. Ducks outside the 45, slips his Fenderson tackle, midfield. The 50 of Ottawa. Great run by Jimmy Edwards.
Edwards runs into his own offensive tackle, Larry Butler, number 68 initially, right at the line of scrimmage. Manages to get away from him, and that's Cameron, number 52, Larry Cameron, the middle linebacker of Ottawa, that Edwards avoids, moves the ball all the way down to the Rider 50-yard line. You just had to know that Edwards is going to break out sooner or later. He's been pretty well bottled up by that Ottawa defense so far this afternoon.
Ken Moore finally popped him for the tackle after a gain of 20, and that's more than half his total for the day. Ottawa until now has contained the dangerous Jimmy Edwards very well. Mark Cosmos was shaken up, seemed to injure a leg, and he has gone out to the Ottawa bench. So they go 6 deep with just the 2 linebackers in there. 4-2-6. pass to Evanson at the 30-yard line. Tightrope, he's out of bounds to 25. Well, Hamilton's got something going here.
Crippen finally knocks Evanson out of bounds, and of course Crippen's the one that Evanson beat for the touchdown strike earlier in this ball game. See Terry tight-roping down the sidelines. He gets down almost to the 25-yard line. First down, Hamilton Ticats. 1:40 remaining in the third quarter.
The ball sitting just outside Ottawa's 25. This is a big chance for the Tiger Cats. Willis goes right, Evanson left. Santucci and Edwards lined up behind Jimmy Jones. Harris in the slot. Into the end zone for Evanson. Touchdown, a great catch. A tremendous catch by Terry Evanson. And he has been injured. Just a tremendous effort by Evanson. Let's watch it again.
And what a great throw by Jimmy Jones. He hits Evanson in that far corner of the end zone as Evanson has gotten behind Tosh, number 17. You see Terry make his second touchdown reception of the day. What a catch by Evanson.
Evanson getting up now. We'll watch it again. He may have fallen on the point of the ball.
Jones has time to throw this football once again, which he didn't quite often in the first half. And watch this grab by Evanson. Fully extended in the corner of the end zone.
I wonder if that could be a recurrence of that rib injury that he suffered up here in Lansdowne Park back when it was warmer.
Look at him jog now. He's all right.
He'll be okay.
Terry Evanson almost single-handedly with the work of Jimmy Jones throwing it to him has put Hamilton right back into it. 16-14.
Terry, okay?
It's 16-15. 1:09 remaining. And the Tiger Cats, who've had a tremendous comeback this season, are launching a tremendous comeback in this football game.
Don, you know, if you look at this third quarter and want to try to pick out one play that was so decisive, I'd have to say it was Jimmy Jones' 3rd-and-1 situation where he was caught for a 5 or 6 yard loss by Mark Cosmos and managed to get away from him, kept the drive alive until finally he hit Terry Evanson behind Peter Crippen for the first touchdown. Now Evanson has come back and scored again, this time beating Wayne Tosh. Jones really did keep that first drive alive with 2 excellent runs from his quarterbacking spot.
1:09 remaining in the third quarter, 16-15 for Ottawa. Ken Clark's kickoff to Hadenack at the 6-yard line. And he was popped hard by number 41, Kent Carter, as he reached the 32. He's okay, pops up after a hard tackle.
What a shot he takes, though. Watch Carter coming in here, number 41. Appeared that he had room to come back as he brought the ball back 26 yards, but he is drilled at the 33. Ticat Ball Club is fired up with less than a minute to go in this third quarter. 16-15, the Riders by 1 at this point.
That one looks pretty slender the way the Tiger Cats are playing right now. Clemens turns, can't find a receiver. Now he spots one. Oh, super catch by Art Green in a big crowd at the 38-yard line. Tom McKee, I think, has been watching the condition of Terry Evanson. Are you there, Tom?
He's wearing when he made that touchdown, and you'll notice it's the ordinary studs. Now, as it remains cold, this field is freezing more and more every minute, and so he's gone to the softer sole, the rib sole, more like a regular running shoe. It'll give him better traction. They may need it in this last quarter coming up.
Clemens finds Kuzik. He's hit, but he's got a first down around the 49-yard line. Was stopped by Larry Brew, number 30.
See Clements coming out to his right side, getting a lot of time to throw the football once again, and it finds Kuzik wide open. Bruin makes a stop at the end of the third quarter. So the Ottawa Rough Riders are ahead 16-15 at the end of the third period. We'll be back with fourth quarter action in a moment.
the new Chevrolet. With more headroom, more rear seat legroom, and more trunk room than the 76 full-size Chevrolet.
That's more headroom.
More legroom. More trunk room.
Now that's more like it. More like it.
The new Chevrolet has a higher gas mileage rating than last year's full-size Chevrolets. It's also more manageable in city traffic.
Now that's more headroom. More legroom. More trunk room.
More mileage. More manageable.
Now that's more like it.
More like it.
The new Chevrolet is, we think, more beautiful, too.
Now that's more like it. Yes, that's more like it. Now that's more like it. That's much more like it. The new Chevrolet. Now that's more like it.
Grey Cup victories and Grey Cup losses. Relive your memories in headline form on display at the Football Hall of Fame in Hamilton.
I may surprise you with mine. I think I'm going Edmonton, 1960. I can't come up with a score, but I hate to agree with ex-quarterbacks, but I'm going with the Eskimos because I think they have a big edge offensively and a big edge kicking the football. Those were their predictions last year on Grey Cup Preview of Frank Rigney and Don Jonas. They proved correct. Frank, you'll get a chance to do it all over again and make it 2 in a row on Grey Cup Preview next Sunday.
Well, let's wait till then. We're not going to make any predictions about this ball game. Tremendous action left with 15 minutes remaining in this ball game.
No way to predict the outcome of this one. Here's Clemens. It's complete. Fine catch around the 43-yard line of Hamilton. Foley brought it in. Remember, Ottawa now has the wind advantage.
Once again, the footing plays a role in this ball game as Foley slips and falls after making this reception. He's wide open behind Harris and quite possibly could have gained further additional yardage. First down for Ottawa, 44-yard line of the Ticats.
14 minutes and 11 seconds just starting the fourth quarter of the Eastern Final. Clemens 13 for 18 today. Nearly 200 yards. Art Green, his senior running back, is inside the 40-yard line, gaining 5. Sam Britt stopped him. They're halfway to another first down.
That'll put Green over 100 yards for the day as he picks up about 4.5 on that play. 104 and 20 carries.
Atnaka comes in for Kuzik. He's got instructions from George Brantano to give to Tom Clemens on second down and about 5. Clemens just rolls out of there. And he's gone, and he's very close to a first down. Dave Shaw stopped him. Clemens stumbled toward the end of that run. And they'll likely be calling out the yardstick for a measurement. It appears to be a first down, but they're going to find out. Just over 13 minutes left.
Certainly Tom McKee's comments on the footing that they have down there and the problems that they're having with this field were very appropriate because Clemens slips and falls once again. If he's short of a first down, certainly won't be because Shaw pinned him there. Clemens slipped and fell in the last 2 yards. However, it is an Ottawa first down, so they've now moved to the Ticats 32.5 yard line.
And if you're wondering about Terry Evanchin, he's playing catch on the sidelines, warming up, so evidently he's going to be all right. After his second big touchdown catch that has put Hamilton back into it. Art Green, good opening, 25-yard line. They'll mark him at the 26. It'll be a gain of over 6 yards. Tom? Are you there, Thomas? I think he may have gone inside to get warm.
I don't think he hears at the moment, Tom. That's the kind of play on that last one, Art Green going up the middle that Ottawa was so successful with in the first half. Just straight ahead football. They'd gone away from it in the third quarter.
Green again. It's another Ottawa first down at the 20-yard line. Kent Carter with the tackle, but they can't find a way to stop Art Green.
Well, they had been pretty effective stopping Green in the third quarter. Don, he's gained 84 yards in the first half. He's now picked up about 20 in the last 3 carries, but up until that point in this second half, the Hamilton Ticat defense had come up big against them. 11:50 remain in this ball game.
Avery left. Huzik right. Foley in the slot left for the first down play. Green again. Who else? Inside the Hamilton 15. 16-15, Ottawa leads. 11 minutes and 25 seconds. The clock moving in the fourth quarter. Ottawa driving for all important insurance points. Right now, a very big second down play for the Rough Riders and for the Hamilton defense. It's going to be second down and 6. This play is the difference between a touchdown and a field goal attempt. Palazetti. They have him at the 13-yard line, and Ottawa is stopped short of the first down. Steve Jelly made the tackle.
Well, Jelly, number 33, comes up with one of the really big defensive plays for the Ticats in this period because Palazetti appears to be on his way to a first down for the Riders. Jerry Argan coming in the ball game as Ottawa will be faced with a 3rd and 4 situation. There's Jelly there, number 33, who made the stop.
Well, that play sweeping to the right, they have put the ball on the hash marks. They've given Oregon a sharper angle than he might like from the 20-yard line to attempt this field goal for Ottawa. No, it's wide. And it bounces to the dead ball line for a single point. So the Ottawa Rough Riders, as Oregon looks on in disbelief, have a 2-point lead at 17-15. We've got 10 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Don't go away.
Winter skies and countrysides, grab a dream and take a ride. Leave behind those worldly cares and follow the open air. And when you hear those friendly sounds, it's good times all around. It's a good time and you're happy. It's a good time for a blue. Time for smiling. Sailor, that's blue. Blue smiles along with you.
Time will tell how important that missed field goal by Jerry Organ will prove to be. As Jimmy Edwards got 4 yards at the 39, Hamilton coming out with 2nd and 6. There's the Honorable John Monroe, of course, who represents the Hamilton riding. I think you can figure out which way he's going today.
I think the flower might tell you something, Doc.
His job is in Ottawa, though.
Jones looking long and almost had the ball picked off. Number 10, Peter Crepan, was falling and missed a chance for the interception.
Once again, this field condition plays a vital role here as Crepan, number 10, appears to be in a good position to have this interception. Watch him. He slips and falls coming across in front of the intended receiver, Jimmy Edwards.
It seems when they have to make any sudden cut or adjustment with the feet to bring a ball in, those feet aren't reliable on this turf.
It's only those little quick guys. You don't see those big linemen slipping out there, Don.
Never see them on their feet. There's the kick by Clark. 36-yard line, Hatanaka slipped. And then Harris levels him right there. 9 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. There is a 2-point difference with Ottawa leading 17-15, but remember, it was 16-1 not too long ago. First down for Tom Clements and the Rough Riders. Art Green gets to about the 43-yard line where he's met by Kent Carter and some Hamilton friends. Got 5. That's been just about the average, perhaps a bit more, for number 20 Art Green today, who has represented so much of the Ottawa Rough Rider attack. Carter, the linebacker, moves onto the line now for this 2nd and 5 play. Out to Gabriel. Oh, it's going to be close for a first down. They might have stopped him short. It was Larry Brune who simply wrestled Gabriel down, I think about half a yard away from the first down. We'll find out in a minute.
Seen from a very closely split position, just about 3 or 4 yards from his offensive tackle going out in the flat. It will be a 3rd down situation for the Riders as Brune comes up with another big defensive play for the Ticats. Ottawa must turn the ball over once again. 8:02 remaining in this ball game.
3rd and 1. George Brancato will not gamble here. He's got Jerry Organ in to kick. Organ with a following wind, 15 to 20 miles an hour in the 4th quarter. Hits it down to Edwards at the 20. Edwards, oh, he gets an opening. Oh, they got a piece of him. He went down finally at the 30-yard line, but he is so quick, this man. So quick, and a small opening is enough for him to get through. He got back 10 yards. So the Tiger Cats will start in just a moment from the 30-yard line with 7:38 remaining in the 4th quarter of the Eastern Final.
Labatt's 50, Canada's favorite ale. What more can you say?
When did I first drink 50? That's a tough one. I guess it was one summer we were fixing a friend's dock. It was really hot. He brought out some 50. Tasted good, cold, really great. I've never looked back.
You drink 50, and you don't have to explain it. Just say it.
All you have to say is 50. You can't say beer any better.
But what a year for CBC Sports, the award-winning Olympic Games coverage, and then next weekend, the Grey Cup weekend on CBC television. Replay of last year's game, the parade Saturday, preview, festival, and the 76th game on Sunday. Frank Rigney and I will be there at the C&E for you for the 76th Grey Cup. Right now, let's watch Jones with time to throw. Oh, and he overthrew Harris. And Harris got injured on the play and is down at the 35-yard line.
Don, I thought that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, but I couldn't pick up who among the Rough Rider defenders was the fellow that tipped it.
Well, they're looking at Harris down there now, and it's worth mentioning, Frank, these two teams split their 4 games this season, but oddly enough, Ottawa won the 2 in Hamilton, and Hamilton won the 2 in Ottawa. The Rough Riders have yet to beat Hamilton here in their own park.
Well, besides the Cinderella story of the Ticats coming back after a disastrous first part of the season, losing 7 straight games, the one thing they did so very, very well was win on the road. As you mentioned, they won twice here. They also won twice in Montreal against the Alouettes on the road.
Remarkable comeback by this Hamilton Football Club as Harris very shakily gets to his feet now. Manages a bit of a smile.
That's a long way up to get to your feet when you're Harris.
Quite a climb.
I said before, you know, watching Harris, the Ticats, that he's probably got as soft a hand as any receiver in the Canadian Football League. 6'5", 230-pound slot back receiver for Ticats.
Harris was smiling.
He won today for 19 yards, however.
Excuse me, Harris was smiling when he came off the sidelines, and so he's okay. I don't think it was gas.
Second down throw for Jones. Oh, and Walter Bauer made a big catch there as he was blocked by Al Brenner. And it's going to be a first down for Hamilton.
What a shot he takes from Al Brenner. You see the big tight end, again, much like Tony Gabriel, split about 3 or 4 yards from his offensive tackle, just trying to find that open spot to hook in front of the safety Al Brenner, and watch this hit. Tremendous effort to hold on to that football.
Hamilton getting up to the 45-yard line now. There's Al Brenner, veteran, 15 interceptions 1 year, 1972. Santucci could not get both hands on the football. It's incomplete. The first down toss from Jimmy Jones. The time all important. 6 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. And Ottawa has a slender 2-point lead as Tony Gabriel looks out there. 17-15 for the Ottawa Rough Riders.
Peter Kreppen, number 10, has come in the ball game. Ken Moore going out, so the Ottawa Rough Riders on this what should be an obvious passing situation will be going with 2 linebackers, Mark Cosmos and Al Cameron. It's 6 defensive backs. Larry Cameron. Thank you, Art.
Jones 11 for 20, mainly in the second half.
Safety blitz.
Big blitz. Jones gets away, and the receiver fell down. It was Harris.
Oh, he's upset downfield. Number 7, Mike Harris, is talking to the officials. He feels that he was interfered with.
I said he fell down. It might have been something else that took him down.
Don, I didn't see it. Let's look at it again. He's number 7. Right there. He's falling. I don't know why he's calling interference. He appeared possibly to trip over one of the Rough Rider defensive backs. Stenerson, number 23, but he was certainly upset about it all.
It looked like he ran into them. I don't think you could fault the Ottawa defenders for it. No penalty. Going to be third down. Here's Clark. Another good kick into that wind, bouncing around the 35-yard line. Haddanack at the 30. Haddanack is down to the 36. Chalupka made the tackle. 5 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter of the CFL Eastern Final. 17-15, Ottawa leading. This is looking like the finish of both Western Finals over the years, Frank.
It's really been a two-half ball game, hasn't it, Don? The Riders completely dominating the first 30 minutes of play, in which they led 16-1. Ticats come roaring back with 2 Terry Evanson touchdown strikes.
Clements, sideliner, catch made at the 44-yard line by Jeff Avery. And that is good for 8 yards. They'll be 2nd and 2.
Avery just on a quick out here. Good delivery by Clements once again. Just dropping back 2 or 3 steps, dumping it out to his right receiver on the outside. That's Porter knocking him out of bounds.
Bob Shaw devising ways for Hamilton to score if they get the ball back. They scored dramatically, 2 touchdowns to Evanston to get close at 17-15. Art Green, he's hit across the 45. I don't know if he got far enough to make the first down or not, as David Boone stepped into him.
Well, that'll be a tough decision.
Be short.
Excuse me, Don. That'll be a tough decision for Coach Brancato. You see him out on the field there. That's George pacing up and down, trying to figure out where that ball is being spotted.
I think they're a length of the football short, aren't they?
Yep. Perhaps a bit more. They're going to go. Hamilton brings in Kadaba and Butler to beef up the defensive wall. Big gamble ordered by George Brancato.
Well, he'll be thinking about this one if they don't make it.
He's yelling somebody's offside out there. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Sam
Art
Britz,
Green
number
was
47.
hit by Sam Britz. And I think the ball's going to go over to the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and Brancato is sick. Oh,
I think sure it's Britz 47. You see the second one from the lower part of your screen coming in there very quickly as Jeff Turcotte, the left offensive tackle, blocks down. No Ottawa Rough Rider touches Britz, the Ticat defender.
They're going to measure for it, the most important measurement of the entire season for both these teams. He needs a piece of the ball. They don't have it. Hamilton, first down, and Brian Canna was beside himself.
Don, it's always so easy to second guess, but why? Campbell, 3rd down and 1. To kick the ball away. They've got 80 yards to go and only 4 minutes remaining in this ball game. Watch, Fritz isn't even touched. She'll come in on the left side of your screen.
Ran right into it. Fritz made sure of it. So Hamilton now going first down with 3:58 remaining, trailing 17-15. Jones out to Harris. Harris inside the Ottawa 40-yard line is about 6 yards.
Wonderful Mons, who made the stop, appears to be hurt on the play. You see him here making the stop against Mike Harris, number 7, who's, you mentioned, 230 pounds, and Mons, number 31, making the stop.
Yes, he was shaken up. Can't quite see it there at the Hamilton bench, but he's being attended to by the Ottawa training staff.
Also gives Jimmy Jones and Terry Evanson a chance to come over and talk to Coach Bob Shaw. The Ticats.
Onsi to fall on a shoulder, I think, that caused the injury. The time remaining, 3:48. The score is 17-15 for the Ottawa Rough Riders. And the Rider defense is trying to dig in hard here to prevent the gamble that did not work by George Brancano from costing them a trip to the Grey Cup game. Mons is up. Jimmy Edwards has been keyed very well by the Ottawa defense. A total of 49 yards, 37 running, and 12 on a pass reception. But he is the kind of player who at any time can break a big one. This is going to be 2nd down and 3 at the 39. Edwards, no. He's wrapped up right there at the line of scrimmage. That'll make George feel a little better. Larry Cameron and Ken Moore, 2 of the 3 linebackers, got through him.
This is where the one weakness of the Hamilton Ticats really is going to be shown very glaringly, and that's their ability to kick those field goals from very far out. You'll see Moore, number 57, coming in and making this stop. That's Walter Bauer, the backup tight end, who does not make the block on the play. It's going to be 3rd and a long 3 for the Ticats, and it appears that they'll be gambling because I don't think Ken Clark has the leg to kick a 46 or 47-yard field goal for Bob Shaw and his troops. Which you have to from
they
here.
all go right in motion ahead of Jimmy Jones. Jones in trouble being chased. Out of bounds, no first down. Ottawa gets the ball back. What a glorious opportunity missed by the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Don, it appeared that they had all of the offensive backfield coming out to the right side trying to lead Jimmy Jones, who I believe was coming to run this football. I don't think he was attempting to throw up. Maybe he was. He did draw up there for a moment, so he obviously had the option to run or throw, but a big play by the Rough Rider defense. As we have 3:01 remaining in this ball game, and they lead by 2 points. We'll be right back after this.
Here comes Hit Machine. K-Tel's Dynamite New Album. 20 monster hits. Original star, Tim Lizzy. Superstar, Elton John. Hit Machine. The music never stops with Rick D. Tina Charles, Martin McFly, Patsy Gallant, and the fantastic Bellamy Brothers. Walter Murphy and the Big Apple Band. Electric Light Orchestra, Johnny Taylor, the Manhattans, and sensational Winnie Todd. John Sebastian. Super Soul, Maxine Nightingale. Hit Machine is rolling. 20 giant hits, $6.99 from K-Tel. Paper cassette, $7.99.
Available at Woolworth, Zellers, Met Stores, Sam the Record Man, Stedman's, and McLeod's. Also at Wilco Department Stores, Towers, Woodward's, and the Bay.
One of these two men will lead the Eastern representative into the Grey Cup next Sunday, and we'll know, barring overtime, in 3 minutes and 1 second, whether it will be George Brancato on the right or Bob Shaw on the left. If there is overtime, 2 10-minute halves. But right now it's 17-15. Ottawa has the ball first down. Their 44-yard line, but Art Green is having trouble. Is hit by McLaren right there around the 45. And Brett's backed him up. The gain is only about a yard. Hamilton's in a bad situation. You may wonder why they wouldn't kick there, but the wind is strong enough, and Ken Clark really, frankly, is not strong enough as a field goal man to attempt one there. They're going to have to get in very close if they're going to try to win it by a field goal, Hamilton.
I think he's only kicked 2 field goals all year long, over 25 yards out, so that definitely is a disadvantage for them.
I think his longest was 32.
Keep an eye on that time. Second down play. Clements rolling out. He is in trouble. He's caught for a loss back at the 42. There's a flag, though, way downfield. Well, they've called Ottawa for a holding, I believe. So Hamilton will likely decline his penalty and get the ball back. It's going to be either third down and 11, or with the penalty, it'll be second down over and 21. And that is going to be declined.
Second big defensive play of this quarter by Steve Gelly, number 33, inserted in that Ticat defensive backfield.
Gelly came in for Montagano, and as you say, made a big one. Third down, 12 yards to go it is. 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Hamilton's going to get the ball back, and Jerry Oregon would love to get a big, booming putt off right here. Hangs it up high around the 27-yard line to Lewis Porter. Porter trying to get across field. Reaches the 32, maybe the 33. And Ken Moore brought him down. The Tiger Cats will start from there with 1:53 remaining. Hamilton trailing 17-15.
I'd say Moore paid for that shot on Lewis Porter there, because Foley, his teammate, really drilled him as well. As we see Jimmy Jones, Ticat quarterback, with his instructions from Coach Bob Shaw, going on to the field. Watch Moore, 57, take this shot from Foley, number 9.
Oh. Ottawa pulls out a linebacker, Frank. They have 6 deep men covering here. They know what to expect from Hamilton. Short punt formation for Jimmy Jones.
It's plenty of time for them to throw short.
He goes to the sideline. There's a catch and an immediate tackle by Wayne Tosh on Terry Evanson. I would think, of all the receivers, Ottawa must be wary of. Number 25 has to head the list for the final minute and 45 seconds.
Well, Jones appears to be looking for either Evanson or Harris, who he has all afternoon. Evanson, of course, having the 2 touchdowns, 5 receptions, and 110 yards.
George Brancato's pretty anxious, as a lot of people are here right now. Porter and Shaw come in as wide receivers. Shotgun formation, second down. Here's Santucci dropping the football. What a time to drop the ball. Now penalty flags go down. They may have called unnecessary roughness, whether it's one or 2 ways. I don't know. Mark Cosmos, Santucci were mixing it up.
Well, we'll look at it again. Santucci drops a ball, and he must be a little frustrated. It appeared to me to almost kick Rod Woodward, number 26, attempt to, as he swung out to the right side here, coming from that shotgun formation. Watch him kick at number 26, Rod Woodward. Woodward turns around and doesn't care much for it. If we go on with the play from there, we'll see the infraction, I believe.
It is unnecessary roughness, and what a big penalty against Rod Woodward. Number 26 it was. It takes the ball to midfield, gives Hamilton a first down, a new life, with 1 minute and 28 seconds left. Jones to Edwards. Dancing. Now he fumbles the ball. It's picked up by the Ottawa Rough Riders. It was recovered by Woodward, who got the roughing call the play before.
And a very, very disappointed Jimmy Edwards, as he was making a beautiful move on the Ottawa Rough Rider defenders.
The ball came flying out of his hand. Actually, no one had touched him, and you see Woodward picking off the fumble right there and giving Ottawa, with 1:19 remaining, what should be their victory in the Eastern Conference.
However, the way this game has gone, you can take nothing for granted, Frank. What a comeback Hamilton has mounted. There have been penalties, there have been gambles that haven't paid off. Here it is one more time.
You see the fumble, he's not even touched. Here's the ball comes flying away from him.
He did not have firm control. Ottawa trying to kill off all the time they can here now. Keeping it low profile, 1:15 left. Maybe a half-a-yard gain on that play. Ball is at the 52-yard line of the Rough Riders. They'll settle for a chance to move it a yard or two, let some time go by, and then kick deep and try to hold Hamilton. We now have a minute left. Clements grounds it, trying to protect the win. It's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Well, I'll tell you, Don, right now, if I were the Ottawa Rough Riders, I'd tell Jerry Organ to kick that ball out of bounds. And I'm sure that George Brancato's had that discussion with him, because Jimmy Edwards is a lone punt returner back there. You know what he can do with that football, and how much he'd like to make up for his 2 fumbles, the last one, of course, just a moment ago.
I think they're going to come with a full charge on Jerry Organ right here. They'll come with everything they have. 38 seconds left now. Long count by Organ. Here's the snap to him. He's got it away. Good kick. Edwards chasing it. Bouncing at the 5-yard line. Edwards going nowhere at the 12 with 23 seconds left. (17-15) for Ottawa. You see the time remaining. The Tiger Cats have 98 yards to go in that much time. 55-yard punt, Oregon's best today, pins Hamilton deep. The Rough Riders just seconds away from a chance to meet the Western Rough Riders in the 1976 Grey Cup game. Short punt formation for Jones. It's tipped into the end zone, incomplete. 17 seconds remaining. It was Mike Paducci who got his hands on the ball.
Jones was hurried here initially by Rudy Sims.
There's Paducci with it.
Paducci, number 68, making the blocks. Ticats will have time for only 1 or 2 plays with 17 seconds remaining in this ball game.
Good blocking for Jones. He's going deep for Dave Shaw. No good. Woodward almost made the interception. We have 9 seconds left now, and a 3rd down, last chance coming up for Hamilton. Brancato is back in his playing days. He's on the field so much.
I'll tell you, he's not conceding victory to his riders. There's only 9 seconds remaining, and Bob Shaw and his troops have the 1 chance left. Ottawa leading 17-15. 9 seconds. Sorry, Don. Let's do that together again.
9 seconds. Last chance, Hamilton. Well, he's across the line of scrimmage. He's got to go with it. He's taken down. Time is out. Ottawa goes to the Grey Cup. Up goes Brancato on his teammate's shoulders. The Ottawa Rough Riders have withstood a furious second-half blitz of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They almost blew a 16-1 lead, but had enough to hold on and win it 17-15. Go against the Saskatchewan Rough Riders next Sunday at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. A classic CFL Eastern final. We hope you've enjoyed it. The game is over. The final score is Ottawa 17 and Hamilton 15.
General Motors announces a $200 cash bonus on every new Chevy Vega and Chevette, Pontiac Astra and Acadian, delivered from stock by January 10th, 1977, or ordered by December 10th, 1976. This $200 cash bonus can be used against the down payment, or a check for $200 will come to you from General Motors of Canada for a $200 cash bonus on Vegas, Chevettes, Astras, and Acadians. See your General Motors dealer now.
Imagine how good you would feel in a Cutlass S from Oldsmobile. The kind of looks we've been famous for. One smart buy you can't ignore. Comfort and practicality.
Yeah, they built one for me.
You get Oldsmobile value that lasts, it's true. Cutlass S, can we build one for you?
You could win a 1977 Cessna commuter, plus flying lessons in Yamaha Audio's Takeoff with Yamaha contest. You could win a trip for two to Tahiti, or you could win a trip for two to ski the Bugaboos. But it starts when you take off for your Yamaha audio dealer for a demonstration of Yamaha's superb sound. Then take home an entry form. Enter the Takeoff with Yamaha contest. Your Yamaha audio dealer has details.
The 1976 Grey Cup at Exhibition Park, Toronto, will be an all-Rough Rider affair. The Ottawa Rough Riders and the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, that was determined just a moment ago in the Eastern Final as the Ottawa Rough Riders defeated the Hamilton Tiger Cats in a real cliffhanger by a score of 17-15. And here is the winning coach, George Brancato. How are you?
It's great. It's really great. It was a great thing to win that game. It was right down to the last play, and our guys hung in there. Hamilton's a great football team. They made a great comeback, and I think they deserve all the credit in the world.
You made one super gamble near the end of that game. You didn't lead afterward by any more points than you had at the time, but you were in your own territory. You know what I'm talking about.
I know. We went for short yards. I thought our guys can do it. I thought Tommy, the quarterback, sneak it. I'd wish the referee had given us a measurement, but he refused to, so I can see how far it was. But Hamilton came up big and almost cost us the ball game.
George, I really would like to talk to you more, but I really don't think we should right now. Suffice to say, congratulations, and I'm sure you're going to have a great game in Toronto next Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Okay, right, thank you.
George Brancato, Frank, is very happy to be in the Grey Cup and very happy that that gamble did not cost him a chance to go to the Grey Cup game. A little less than 4 minutes to go around the 45-yard line. That could have been fatal.
I really questioned that, Don. During the telecast, it appeared that he should have kicked the ball away. They would have had 70 or 80 yards to come back and score against him. And, of course, the story of the second half of the Hamilton Ticats was Terry Evanson, who got 2 touchdown passes, became very prominent in this football game. And Jimmy Jones took off a couple of times to keep drives alive, running from that quarterback spot that I thought was very, very key for the Ticats offensively.
The Tiger Cats had the third quarter really to work with. That's when they had the wind. They got as much as they might expect. They got 2 sensational touchdowns that got them back in the game. Yet the fourth quarter couldn't aid Ottawa too much because they weren't really going for points. They seemed very conservative at that time, except for the gamble, but they weren't really letting it all out as they were in the first half.
Well, the other thing I think that happened in that third quarter was the fact that the Ticat defense was able to stop Art Green. Green compiled 84 yards rushing the football in the first half, and in that third quarter, he was limited to 12 yards. He came back in the fourth, gained another 20 or 30 yards. We don't have the final stats, but that was the story of the third quarter. Ottawa not being able to control the football with Art Green running it, and Terry Evanson, of course, scoring the 2 majors.
I want to see those Evanson scores again. I'm sure the fans do as well, because they were not just touchdowns, but spectacular scoring plays, Frank. Here's the first one.
Well, the first one, he beats Peter Kreppen on the right side of the Hamilton Ticat offense, Kreppen number 10, and it's just an excellent throw by Jones. You see Evanson putting the ball into the end zone. But really, the second one would even far more spectacular, as Evanson on the other side of the field is working against Wayne Tosh, number 17, and he makes one of the great catches of the entire 1976 season. You'll see Jones hitting him far in the deep corner of the end zone behind Tosh, number 17. What a super grab by Evanson.
He was shaken up, but he came back out of that. He was hit hard in the end zone, and now we get back to this gamble that almost cost Ottawa a chance to go to the Grey Cup game. They were at the 45-yard line, eating a yard. Ball a bit mishandled here. This is about the only time they wrapped up Art Green all day.
And I think, obviously, there was an offensive assignment missed there, as Sam Britz, the middle linebacker, number 47, was not touched at all. However, the Ottawa Rough Riders also came back and stopped Jimmy Jones on a third down gamble only 2 minutes later. So each team came up big defensively in that fourth quarter in the dying moments.
Edwards was driving inside the 50-yard line and moving toward a touchdown. He fumbled the ball.
You see Jones running out to the right side here. It appeared to be looking for Jimmy Edwards downfield and then wanted to take off. However, he wound up, because of that great Ottawa defensive pursuit, being knocked out of bounds for a 5-yard loss.
Well, there's a pretty jubilant scene underway as we're looking now at the Ottawa Rough Rider dressing room. They're doing a little celebrating tonight and settle down, I'm sure, to the reality tomorrow morning that they've got to prepare for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. And it goes back a long time. The single meeting between the two this year, August 3rd, here at Lansdowne Park in Ottawa. Our first telecast, it was a great football game, won by the Ottawa Rough Riders.
And you recall, Don, I thought you were going to mention it, that I predicted prior to our first telecast that the two Rough Rider ball clubs, both East and West, would be in the Grey Cup final.
That's what makes him so cute and cuddly, folks. He makes good predictions. Called the Grey Cup back here last year, too. On Grey Cup Preview, Frank, you'll get a chance on Sunday to call who you think is going to win this 1976 Grey Cup. But it was a great Eastern final today. Won 17-15 by the Ottawa Rough Riders, who hung on to defeat the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Now for all our crew, Tom McKee, Frank Rigney, this is Don Chevrier saying good afternoon from Ottawa.
Canadian Professional Football, brought to you by Canadian Pacific, working for Canadians in resource development, manufacturing, and transportation. KTEL International, specialists in personal care, household, and leisure time products. Yamaha Audio, quality stereo with a 5-year warranty on most models. And Labatt Breweries of Canada Limited, brewers of Labatt's Nifty Ale and Labatt's Blue.